Welcome to the Table 18 podcast. My name is Cuddy, and that is
Damon Conklin.
Oh wow! Did you practice that? That's great.
No, that was off the cuff, man. I got that on speed dial.
I love that for you. How was your weekend, Doc?
It was highly productive.
Okay.
And fun. Okay. I went to see the new Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
Which is like the best shit ever.
Yeah, that new Spider-Man is dope.
Oh my god,
it's fucking dope, dude.
Dude, the Hulk.
Yeah.
The Hulk was the hulkiest Hulkster that ever hulked.
Whoa.
You know,
dude,
like
you're going to rip a fucking to another dimension. Yeah. They kind of ended that whole like Joe the Fixer Hulk that was kind of like intelligent and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
It made it.
Which was cooler in the comic than it turned out to be in the movies.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right? You kind of wanted fucking. But the moment, only spoiler I'll give, the moment where he was like, I didn't know you got that big. It was great. Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, go see that. But also, I was super stoked to see the first official X-Men in the MCU.
Oh, right.
Huge.
Yeah. That was well done.
That was well done, yes.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what happens in the Mutant Saga coming up.
Yeah.
That was... Yeah, Wolverine's been in the MCU and Deadpool and stuff like that. But the first...
Who I love, Wolverine. But, like, he's up there with donuts and bacon for me.
Yeah, absolutely. But and he absolutely deserves all the props he gets. But he is... If you're going to put him in a movie, it's kind of a layup, right? Like, because he's fucking Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's not much of a thinker.
Yeah.
Right? But to get Jean Grey in there and somehow not overwhelm the entire movie with it...
Right. Yeah. No, that's...
pretty great.
Yeah, that was thoughtfully done. I hear you had a really, I wish I could have been there.
Great
got a great weekend.
Yeah, Go Like Hell, man. Reunion show.
Yeah.
Go Like Hell reunion show at Slim's Last Chance.
Hell yeah.
It was intense. And my wife is going to be listening to this. So
where in the lineup did she play?
She was second to last.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And the turnout was really cool. It was really cool to see a lot of people showed up.
I saw a lot of pictures.
And there was a lot of people who came up to me. We talked about this, but a lot of people that came up to me and was like, hey, man, I love your guys' podcast. I love what you're doing.
Awesome.
I love what you're doing with this. And it was great. I mean, but as far as her, right? I do need to say this because I know she's going to listen to this. She owes me her life. There's video of me saving her life because people were going to drop her while she was.
Oh, yeah.
So I picked her up with my Herculean physique.
Yeah.
And I set her back on the stage.
All right.
And I just wanted her to know that as much as I love her, she does owe me. The rest of her existence.
Yeah.
She tried to negotiate some out last night, but I was like, nah, I mean, you owe me a life.
Right.
So, that's just the way these things work.
Well, Frank Castle owes Spider-Man and she owes you.
For that Staten Island thing.
That's right. Whatever that is.
That Staten Island thing.
Yeah.
I got a question.
All right.
And it's for today's guest.
We bullshitted so long, I almost forgot that there was going to be a question.
And the question, you ready for this?
Can I ever truly be ready?
Okay. This is in honor of today's guest.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
My question to you,
yes,
Damon Conklin, is who is your favorite wrestler of all time?
Oh, yeah, brother, the Macho Man, you know that. Oh, the cream of the crop always rises, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Woo. You're talking like Randy Papa over there, my guy. Fucking minor league Randy Papa.
Right?
Yeah.
Flip into a Slim Jim, yeah.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Yeah. Well, because those guys run so much cocaine. Like,
Speaking of my wife, there was at one point she was living in LA, and Macho Man asked her if she would be the new Miss Elizabeth. I swear to God.
Wow.
I swear to God.
I'm not super surprised by that.
Yeah, I mean, she was a really hot stripper. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and the Macho Man's
yeah, totally. He ran that line on my wife, right? Like, totally.
Well, he's a man of great taste. We know that.
Yeah. I mean, I love a Slim Jim.
Yeah, who doesn't? Yeah.
So 3 minutes of playtime. I will tell you that my favorite
let's hear it.
is the limousine riding, helicopter flying, kid stealing, wheeling dealing. And I'm having a hard time holding these gators down.
Holding these gators down.
That'd be Ric Flair. Woo!
Right? Baby.
So love me some Ric Flair.
Yeah, who doesn't?
I also love me some Dusty Rhodes, baby.
Oh yeah,
Right? The American Dream. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, baby.
Which always kind of puzzled me as a kid because I'm like, he doesn't look super dreamy. I mean,
the confidence was next level.
But I'm like, that
Son
gives
of a plumber.
that gives all of us less than model looking guys real hope. You know, we can be the American dream.
The American Dream, baby.
Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes. I love how he passed on his lisp to all his sons too. Right? Like, I was like, is Cody making that up? Like, is he trying to affect his dad?
At least once you bleach the hair blonde, it comes in. When he had the brown hair, it spoke without a lisp.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
That bleach, baby.
The funny part is, Cody, if Cody's ever listened to this, man, I'm not a big wrestling fan these days, but I will tell you that I watch his interviews and I love what he's doing with his dad's legacy. He's got good vibes. Like he's got safe guy vibes. You know what I mean? Like you'd want to kick it with Cody.
Yeah.
He seems like a fucking interesting cat.
I don't even think I know what you're talking about.
Oh, well, you will know because he plays Guile in Street Fighter, in the new Street Fighter movie.
Honestly, the last wrestling I saw was luchadors in Mexico. And man, that is like, bro, that's...
Mexico and Japan.
I can almost cry thinking about it. It's so beautiful to watch. It's so hilarious. Like,
it's an art form.
They will just, and when there's ever a dead spot in the show, they will just throw a short person. You know, just one will come running out and they'll just throw him.
Well, it's a little person.
And the crowd is just fucking.
Remember when we just had a little person on hand?
Yeah. They seem to always have one.
That was the 90s.
Yeah.
All the babies,
there was some cool ass little people in the city in the 90s.
Yeah.
Do you remember in the 80s, they had like the wrestlers had like mini versions of them?
Yeah.
So like Mr. T, there was like a miniature Mr.
T.
Yeah.
Miniature Hulkbuster. Yeah. There was a miniature Roddy Piper.
Yep. Miniature Junkyard Dog.
Right.
Junkyard Dog.
Mentioned Junkyard
Oh,
Dog.
man. I was a Junkyard Dog fan back in the day for
Chain.
sure. Yeah.
For sure, dude.
Yeah.
Junkyard Dog was everything that Mr. T wanted to be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He had sauce.
He was a dog, bro.
He was a dog, right? He was a junkyard dog.
Yeah.
So I guess we should bring it to our guest, Mr. Verified Steve Migs.
That's right.
The verified heel.
The man, the myth, the legend, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, bro.
No, dude, this is awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
So you talk about Mexican wrestling. I'm like, I have so many stupid nerdy things to talk about.
Oh, let's hear him. Yeah.
There's this guy right now. It's Chad Gable. He's a wrestler.
Okay.
So for a minute, they had him under a mask and they called him Grande Americano. And it was meant to be a douchey thing to do to piss off Mexican culture because he was involved like in this little war with another wrestler who's a luchador.
Right.
And then it just kind of took off. And he was doing really well with it.
Yeah.
He gets hurt. They grab another guy, Ludwig Kaiser, who's a German dude.
Ludwig.
They have him.
If he's not a German dude, he's wearing the uniform.
Right.
Yeah.
There's like 80s wrestling all over.
Right.
Like grab all these larger than life. So then they have him play Grande Americano and act like as if like nothing's different. Even though he's a completely different body type. So now you have a German guy playing a Mexican luchador that's being played by an American guy.
Wow. That's
somehow in Mexico, because he's also married to a Mexican lady, he embraced the culture to the point where not only does he know the language, he knew like their dialects.
Yeah.
So all of Mexico embraced this guy. Now all of a sudden he's become like the most loved Mexican luchador who's Russian or who's German, playing an American, playing a luchador. Chad Gable gets healthy again. So now they've created this story arc where he comes back and he's like, no, I'm the original Grande Americano. Now they're fighting on TV.
Awesome.
And they built this entire big thing in Mexico where they finally have a match. Who's going to have ownership of being Grande Americano?
Oh, my God. I want to see that.
It's on YouTube. It's free. You need to watch. It's like watching a movie. There's blood. His wife or girlfriend gets involved. There are people crying in the crowd. Chad Gable, his son is dressed like him in the little luchador, like it's everything
tugging on the heartstrings.
And I mean, it's just it's like cinema.
It's all notes.
Yeah.
And it's
I'll
so
tell you what,
dumb.
dude, it took me on a trip.
Yeah.
But that's what wrestling. That's what I love about wrestling. Is
Yeah.
you take something so absurd like that.
Yeah.
And we all fall in love, and we forget what real life is, and we believe.
That's the thing, you know, is that, and when you talk to people down there, that is like, it is a drama built around the absurd.
Yep.
So that we forget about life.
Yep.
And we just live in this world.
And somehow they took something that was supposed to be mocking their culture to becoming Now this guy is untouchable.
Yeah.
Like, he's the biggest star in Mexico. And he's
so dope.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I mean, the best shit happens that way.
Yeah, and also, I mean, credit to him, like, when you embrace it and when you actually, like, lean into it and, like, you actually try.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're just being a goof about it.
Yeah.
Like, they saw the sincerity in what he was doing, and now they
Like,
buy in.
This is our guy.
Right.
Well, sometimes, the guy has to take it seriously so that everybody doesn't have to.
Yeah,
You know?
100%.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. Sure. So that said, I invite Steve Migs. The world wants to know, who's your favorite wrestler?
Roddy Piper.
Oh,
Hot
yeah,
rod,
yeah.
Just when you think you know the answers, I changed the question.
That's right. Yeah.
Smashing coconuts over Jimmy Snooker's head, pushing everybody's button.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
one of the ultimate heels of all
Oh,
time.
dude,
Yeah.
the way he was, I mean, just like how he was poking the snake with Mr. T in WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Everything else that he did. I mean, it was just like you believed him.
Yeah.
I mean, whether
Yeah.
or not, like,
Oh, yeah.
obviously at some point you find out Santa
Is
isn't really
not
a
real,
wrestler.
yeah.
Right.
He's hanging out with the Easter Bunny.
But you knew that guy was a little extra, you know?
Well, it translated.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
even in the movies that he was in, right? He was
Yeah.
still Roddy.
He's
Piper.
still him.
He was
Yeah.
still him in those
Yeah.
movies,
Yeah.
right?
Some of the best wrestlers will always say, like, I can't make you believe wrestling is real, but I can make you believe that I'm real.
Sure.
Wow,
That's
right.
good,
Yeah.
And he was legit that. I mean, I think
Yeah.
if there was ever the epitome of that, like him
Yeah.
and like Dr. D. David Schultz, remember that guy
Yeah,
back in the day?
yeah.
All
Yeah.
those dudes, man. Like they just they held
Well,
that crap.
That's the thing. It was with Ric Flair,
Yep.
right? Like Ric Flair was believable.
Yeah.
Like he still is, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
'cause-
He went bankrupt a lot because he was getting those jet planes.
Right. He was
the
riding those
Rolex wearing.
limousines.
Yeah.
Rolex
Larger than
wearing,
life.
diamond ring wearing, fucking yeah.
I want to know this. How much does Utilikill owe Roddy Piper?
Right?
Because there is a lot of people wearing kilts because of Roddy Piper.
Oh, I mean, I see someone with a kilt.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Roddy's theme song.
That's right. 100%.
And the bagpipes too.
So
Yeah,
fucking
all right.
hey, Steve Migs, man.
Dude, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah.
For those that don't know, you're Steve Migs of BJ and Migs and
Yeah.
Steve Migs on the radio and verified
Daily
Steve
Show.
Migs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Big Show now. Yeah.
Migs Show, yeah, totally,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mad props to the Migs Show. And fuck, tell us about yourself. You're originally from Brooklyn, right?
From Brooklyn, New York.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I grew up.
Okay, I did not know that.
No, yeah.
I feel like I have heard it, but I just didn't.
Well, I don't expect you to remember every little thing about me.
if you remember, money,
If you remember
I've
my
been
name, I'm
watching
happy.
you.
he gets up and walks out. He's like, all right, that's it. This is all I
boys. I'm here for it.
Party's lame.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm glad I did your drugs and I'm out.
You're cool. Fuck you all. Oh yeah, grew up in Brooklyn. Just lived I like to. I look back on it and I thought like I lived a normal life. And then when I tell people stories of my life, they're like, it's not very normal.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, just like the way even like one time I went home and one of my family members was like, yeah, we're actually pretty surprised you made it through everything. Like they just from
Yeah.
like how my dynamic in my house was with
Oh,
my
yeah.
brother, my father. Like I love everybody, but like
Yeah.
when I share some of the stories, like that is not normal.
Yeah.
like it was kind of like one of those tough like life like. But that was all I knew.
Where in Brooklyn were you?
Like I was in the Kings Plaza, Flatbush Avenue U.
Okay.
Just like it was, I view it as like kind of like a melting pot because New York and Brooklyn. I don't know if you spent a lot of time in Brooklyn at the time growing up. It was very separated.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the Jewish community.
Yeah.
This
I
black
first went in the
neighborhood.
late '90s when you could still see a lot of that.
Yeah, like Brooklyn, like there's Bensonhurst was the Italian neighborhood, and Kings Plaza was kind of like we were like the melting pot.
The
Like
intersection of it all.
Yeah, everyone just kind of mixed. So like,
Yeah.
which I'm glad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that.
Because there were
cool.
streets you would cross in Brooklyn where you would see Dominicans on one side and Hasidic Jews on the other,
Yes.
and you never saw one on the other side of
Yeah.
the street.
Dude, when I took my wife, then girlfriend at the time, to New York to visit my family, first thing she said when we went to the mall, she's like, okay, you make a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
Just like the attitude, the
Sure,
energy,
yeah. Yeah.
the look,
Yeah.
like all that, like,
Yeah.
and then when we went to like one area to get on a bus and it was very like the Hasidic Jewish neighborhood.
Yeah.
Never seen a culture like that. And it was just like, to me, it was just no, like, I was like, oh yeah, that's just their neighborhood. But it was just like, what in the world is this? Like, why are everybody so separate? I was like, we
That's crazy.
are, but it
You
never
could catch a
felt
train and go through it 10 countries.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Some areas worse than others.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that was just home. So, but like by the point, by the time I graduated high school, I was like, I gotta get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I'm just not happy. I'm like not living a happy life, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it through just mentally. Like that's where my family were like kind of surprised.
Yeah.
I was able to get out because I needed to. So I went to college because that was the easy way to get out.
Right.
Plattsburgh, New York, way upstate, kind of close to Montreal, Canada.
Yeah.
Love that. That was a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
A whole different energy. And that's kind of where I lost a little bit of my Brooklyn accent because I was being made fun of. I mean, it comes out from time to time, but you know,
it's a trip how much different it is even going from like Williamsburg to like Long Island.
Yes.
You know, to like, you know,
the Bronx.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own accent.
Yeah, but as soon as you get out of that urban tightness, then you get into like the woods and like it just chills out a lot.
Really and everyone talks like they're on TV.
Yeah.
That's what we would say. Like, you sound like you're on TV. I don't know what that means, but
you sound like you're on TV. No, I'm not on TV. Yeah.
Everybody's just like plain. Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you talking like that? Right? You trying to be on a sitcom?
Water? What are you talking about? Water. Hey, what are we doing?
Water. Absolutely. Which is how apparently everybody in the Northwest talks.
Oh yeah, we went through that one.
Yeah. That was a fun time. Apparently, we drop our T's here more than other people do.
Okay, yeah,
right.
The Washington one would still forever be one of the more entertaining debates. I feel like there are people who just like live and die by that, and then there are other people like that is not true. We do not say it that way. I'm like, well, where do we hear it?
Yeah,
right.
Somebody is saying
these thousands of people over here saying that they do. Like, wow, you might actually not have the same fucking experience. That's weird.
Like, I didn't take acid every day.
So you went to college in upstate New York.
Upstate New York, Plattsburgh, New York, and then once I graduated, I moved out to Seattle.
But you moved out here. I read you'd moved out here because of the music.
I did. Well, I moved out here for a lot of reasons. I wanted to get as far away from my home
for sure.
As humanly
that
possible.
was going to be the
and you did.
And I figured if things don't work out well, I'll just keep moving closer and closer east. And then if I finally realize I'm just a massive failure, I'll go back home and live with that safety net.
It's like tuning a guitar. You just crank it all the way to one thing and back it up until it fucking hits.
And my mindset, and I still believe it, is like, if you don't have a safety net, you have no choice but to succeed in life. Like,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like if I know, like my parents, they're not going to help me, and I'd made a decision to just leave them. Well, if I fail, I fail.
Yeah.
And like there's nobody sending me a check. There's nobody paying my rent.
Yeah.
And it's scary, but I wouldn't have changed it any other way. I would tell anybody, like, if you are trying to figure out what you're going to do in your life, get the hell away from home, get away from that safety net, and just see what the fuck happens.
Well, you know what they say? They say that a backup plan is just planning to back up.
Yeah. No, it's true.
That's real. Yeah. Sometimes you definitely just got to burn the boats.
Yeah.
Burn the boats.
And you're
see what happens.
Yeah, we're going to see what happens.
Yeah.
Pull up on land, burn the boats.
Swords in the wind.
Yeah, this is what we're doing.
And the fun part is when I came out here, I did finally hit that braking point. I'm like, I'm moving back. And the transmission of my 1981 Chevy Malibu Classic station wagon, whatever it was, died. And I was like, well, I can't drive home. I can't do more than 30 miles per hour, and I can't drive in reverse. And I did that for over a year because I couldn't afford to get my transmission fixed.
Destiny chose you.
Dude, and in that year of not being able to get anywhere, I found a job in radio, and then it's just been a...
How did that
one red comet went across the sky, and the first dragon was born, and Steve Migs stayed.
I'll never forget. My transmission blew. I was going to see Mudhoney at the Showbox.
Yeah.
And like that was a big part of why I wanted to move out here. I was like,
absolutely.
I'm going to get to see Mudhoney frequently because that was like my band.
Yeah.
Like, they did not tour much. And so I was like going there, transmission blows. I'm like, well, shit, I'm not missing this concert.
Absolutely.
I literally had to push my car into a parking spot. Pushed it out. But man, like, I wouldn't change anything. Like that. It's been an incredible ride. I've lived here longer than I've lived in New York.
You've definitely gone local.
What year was that?
Yeah.
I moved out here in 97.
97.
Yeah.
Shit. So I met you shortly after you moved here.
100%.
Yeah.
You were like,
you were getting tattooed by Jeff at Slave to the Needle, I think.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Man.
Much love for Jeff.
Yeah. No doubt. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is one thing that Seattle has taught you that Brooklyn couldn't have taught you?
Slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
I never forget. I was working temp jobs. Shout out to Molly Brown Temp Agency. I took a lot of bad jobs there, but I would they'd be like, you need to go to this place and make photocopies for the next 8 hours. And so I'd take the bus, get there, and I'm just power walking the streets of Seattle. I'm like flying through people, practically body checking people.
Yeah.
And I get stopped at a stoplight, and this lady, or this walk sign, and this lady goes, "What are you in a rush to get to?" I was like, "Huh?" She's like, "What are you in a rush to get to? I'm watching you." And I'm like, this is a very weird conversation. But
It's a very weird conversation.
That's a great question.
And I was like, to my job. And she's like, why are you in a rush to get to a job? Like, and I was like,
like that makes even less sense.
right. I was like,
I thought you were just moving fast for fun.
I was like, fuck, you're right. Like, yeah, maybe if I'm getting going to get laid, like you have 30 minutes to get here, I'm not having sex with you.
Right. Okay, I'm there.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to make photocopies for the next 8 hours, and I'm like power walking there. But, like that was like the start of it, like driving, like all that, like just like taking a moment just to chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like I still have moments where like my mind is going too fast.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that was just from the world that I grew up in. That's just how I knew life to be.
The hustle and bustle.
Right.
Well, back then too, in like the early, your early years here, 97, 98, 99, even then, Seattle was just a really big town.
Yeah.
There was not, I mean, like, there wasn't people fucking everywhere.
Right.
There weren't everywhere, right? Like, Damon and I talked about this frequently. It was like, we met at the Hurricane,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And because I cooked at the Hurricane. I was a great
At table 18.
At Table 18.
Yeah.
Hence the name of the podcast.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love that.
Right? And so I would go in the morning from the Hurricane down to South Lake Union at 6 in the morning, and we would be down there spray painting and skateboarding. And you could be in South Lake Union all night long and not see a fucking soul.
Oh, absolutely.
Not
Yeah.
a soul, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody. It was Ducky's, the furniture place, and a bunch of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Remember
it's
when
like,
Denny was at basketball court?
yep.
I used to
Oh,
spend-
that's right.
I would take mushrooms and shoot hoops by myself. that was like my favorite thing in the world to do. And like nowadays, if I even thought of doing that, that seems like a terrible idea.
Well, and there would be like 30 other people there wherever you were at.
right.
You'd be at Cal Anderson trying not to get mugged, and
They're all on mushrooms.
The Hurricane's one of the few places I ever got kicked out of.
Oh, well,
Oh wow!
I passed out in my hash
Oh, they're-
browns.
yeah.
And they're like, you gotta go.
You
and I'm
gotta
like,
go.
I remember looking at them like, you're at, with ketchup and hash browns on my face. No argument here.
you're all getting it.
Like, you have every right to kick me out. This was stupid.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. The amount of people that we.
That's the wrong way to eat hash browns, Steve.
That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because we talk about this, but people don't understand, man. Like when you worked at the Hurricane, you're kicking out 10 people a night.
Oh, I bet.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
if you don't know how to fight, you shouldn't work there.
Yeah.
Because if you don't fight when it's time to fight, the rest of the staff's going to beat you up.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
There was some, like that era though of like those late night places. Like
It was Minis, fucking
Mecca.
Mecca.
That was I lived in Lower Queen Anne, and that was like, man, I probably ballooned to 280 something pounds because of their French fries.
Yeah,
That and Dick's
That's a
fries.
good
Yeah.
place to do it.
Yeah, but like that was also a place where I remember my old roommate would get kicked down. Like you hit rock bottom. If the Mecca is kicking you out.
yeah, totally.
You know, like
Yeah.
they exercise a lot of patience. with us drunk
Totally.
idiots.
It's on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the 5 point where it's like
5 point. Yeah,
we take advantage of drunks and fucking
Yeah,
we were like prepared for drunk. We were prepared
Yeah.
for drunks. Like
I would tell people going to the 5 point, artists from out of town or whatever. I'm like, go to the 5 point, order a drink. If it is too strong for you to drink it, they like you. Be nice, tip well. if it isn't, they hate you, leave.
right, totally.
There's nothing you can do about it. They made up their mind.
right.
Yeah.
I'm about
Try another place.
You're a suck.
That's right.
Nobody knows what the actual parameters of the test were.
Yeah.
It's depending on the day.
And if I hear about it, I'm going to be suspicious around you myself because
Right.
they have pretty good judgment.
It's like when
you
an
know?
animal doesn't like you. Like a
Yeah,
dog doesn't like you. You're
right.
just like,
I'm like,
shit.
okay. Keep my kids away from that one, you know.
Sure,
Yeah.
dude. You moved here primarily for the music. and
Yeah.
To get as far as geographically.
A lot of
away.
factors. Yeah.
Yeah, as you could, right?
Yeah.
How did you get into radio? Like, what was that? Like,
Oh, dude, it's crazy. So I tried to get jobs everywhere, and no one's ever responding. I would apply to everything. I wanted to work at the end at the time.
Yeah.
Like that's all
Yeah.
I want. I remember moving here, first station I put on. I'll never forget hearing like Real Big Fishes sell out, and I'm like, this is my kind of station.
Oh, the end was like
Yeah.
revolutionary at the time. It really
It
was
really
like,
was.
As a college
Yeah.
radio kid, like we knew of Marco Collins. We knew
Yeah.
of like, oh, this is the station that broke
Yeah.
Weezer back, no doubt.
Yeah.
All that. And I was like, I want to be there. Like that
Yeah.
sounds fucking awesome.
absolutely.
And I kept applying to jobs I wasn't even qualified for.
Sure.
I would send them applications. I would see it in like, The Stranger or in the Seattle Weekly, not the Weekly, Seattle Times or PI.
Yeah.
Apply, nothing. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to apply to anything. No one's answering. Finally, I get a job at a place called, it was KKMO or Double KMAO because it was a Spanish radio station. AM, 1360 AM, and I got hired there to be a board operator.
What did 1360 AM do? What
Tejano music primarily.
It was Tex-Mex.
Yeah,
a lot of that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Like a lot of
Drug
Tex-Mex.
dealer music.
Shout out to was Super Mario was one of the DJs. Noe. They called me
Okay.
Senor Steve. I had no idea.
Senor Steve.
Yeah, with a B. They were awesome.
Oh, that's a keeper.
Working the board. Oh, dude, that was my MySpace name. I was like, MySpace / Senor Steve. But like, I worked there, didn't speak a lick of Spanish other than what you learn in high school.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was just in radio, and I just stare at them until they said "una pausa," a commercial, and then I'd be like waiting, like just staring, like when are you going to point at me?
Right.
They'd play on the commercials.
Yeah.
Look at it, count them down. Then though I got like ambitious because it was like nighttime. I was there working overnights as well. I was just do whatever I could to get in there.
Yeah.
But no one was in there, and I had access to a radio station and a microphone and a Spanish or English to Spanish dictionary.
Yeah.
So I would
wow.
record my voice, Senor Steve, as La Hora de Rock and Roll. And I would record all this shit and I would edit it so I sounded faster. In my head, I'm thinking, this sounds like as if I'm speaking very fluent Spanish.
Or at least fast Spanish.
Hold on.
So stupid.
No, we're not going to glaze over that.
No.
That's fucking genius, right? I don't care what anybody says.
Well, man.
Genius and stupid and just dumb.
There's intersectionality
all the time.
right there.
Right. So
But man, kids, listen to this. You know, when you've got an opportunity, make the most.
So I did that. And I would like
Fucking run it.
And I would find like whatever, like kind of rockish type Spanish music, put it all on. Request lines are coming in and answer. I'm like, hello? Not even trying to commit to the bit.
yeah.
Senor Steve, I'm like, no, he's somewhere. I'm like, look, I can't have a conversation. So I did that for a little while. And it was just like, I was having the best time of my life. I had a parking pass, was making minimum wage. But it was awesome. You know? I also had to work at it was KXPA, which was a personal achievement radio. They were owned by the same
Personal achievement.
Personal achievement radio.
brother. I've never been more depressed listening to Tony Robbins clips and Deepak Chopra.
God.
It was, instead of songs, they grabbed clips from audiobooks of these positive talkers.
Oh my God, that's brutal.
So I spent more time in the Spanish radio station, even though I didn't know a single thing of what they were saying, because I did not want to hear it. Right. So I did that for like maybe about a year. Oddly enough, that was in the same building as the End. And I was applying for other jobs. I worked at Como for a second, like on the weekends on the gardening show, and like their cooking show, Cisco and all that. Yeah,
dude. Local legends.
Yeah, 100%. And then some cooking show too, which was kind of cool because I was so broke, so I was getting fed.
Yeah.
But then I got an interview at the end, and I was around, so I finally got to like make faces with names, and through just a lot of luck and just being in the right place at the right time, got hired as their producer for their morning show on the End.
Oh,
Cool.
And dude, the best part was I get hired at the End. 2 months later, they have a big staff meeting. Real World Seattle is coming and they're going to work here.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah.
that was an era, dude.
That was a moment in time.
That was
23, and like I was obsessed with the Real World, and now all of a sudden they're there, and I'm working and on the air in the mornings, and I'm working weekend overnight shifts just to get more pay and also just get on the air more.
Yeah.
I was told by my boss, he's like, well, never going to put you on the air. You have a New York accent. He's like, you can work behind the scenes. You're a great kid, but just know we're never going to put you on the air. And I told that to Marco Collins, who I forever will love.
Yeah.
A true legend. If you ever, I don't know.
Absolutely.
No, I've reached out to him.
Yeah. That would be dope.
No, I reached out to him because he's friends with my wife.
He's the best.
He's a great guy. Yeah. And there's just so much that Damon and I personally have in common with him, with the sobriety thing.
100%.
And, there's a lot, like we have the Seattle history thing, the sobriety thing. I would love to have him on.
Yeah.
He fucking
He means everything to me.
Yeah.
He changed my life because I remember telling him that I was down. I was like, okay, well, I just accepted that I'm just going to be a behind the scenes producer guy. And I told him that, and he's like, fuck that. Tell them to go fuck themselves. He's like, your accent and how you are makes you stand out amongst everybody else. And in the sea of people trying to sound like the radio guy, listeners will embrace you because you're different.
Absolutely.
Just like he's different.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And he was so right. Like, I mean, just when I think about the fact, like, I stutter, I flub my words, my
100%.
mouth moves way faster than my brain, but like, that is real. And I never tried. I did try when I was younger to try and sound more like a radio guy when I first started, and I sounded like shit. And I still sound like shit, but at least I'm me. And
well, you know what's interesting about that is that like the people who aren't radio voices told you what you weren't going to be able to do.
Yep.
Qualified advice.
Yeah.
You got advice from someone who actually was a radio
And
voice.
where I wanted to
and
be.
they shot all that shit down, and here you are today.
It changed everything.
Like, yeah.
Now, like when someone asks me, like, what's the biggest advice and rate? Like, when I go, we're going to a radio convention in a couple of days.
Yeah.
And I'll meet like younger people and like, what do you have for advice? And I'm like, embrace your flaws.
Yeah, be
whatever
you.
your
Yeah,
flaw is,
yeah.
lean into that shit and be okay with the fact that maybe you're going to be the butt of a joke. Sometimes people aren't being assholes about it. Like I embrace it. Like I will say things knowing full well,
Yeah.
this is going to get me made fun of.
Yeah.
But why
who
not?
gives a fuck?
Right.
Like, none of it means anything.
Well, be the butt of a joke.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We're here to have fun. Let people have their fun too.
And
You know,
in the world we're in now, like I can't get canceled for making fun of myself. I
Right,
just like
yeah.
to think I won't.
Right,
Maybe someone out there is going to be mad that I'm making fun of me and they're going to start a cause, which would be pretty fucking awesome if I get fired for making fun of
Actually,
myself.
I now know what I'm going to do on the weekends.
right.
Steve Migs. Steve Migs against Steve Migs.
Yeah,
That's right.
Steve Migs made fun of himself because he stutters. Man.
It's really funny because like I was, in construction and I worked my way up to the higher echelons of the business or whatever. And I was like, fuck this, I'm going out on my own for a lot of reasons, right?
Yeah.
But obviously because I'm not a corporate guy.
Right.
Right, it's just not going to be me. And when we were these days, you have to have some kind of marketing ploy, right? Like you have to have something,
Right.
right? You have to have a hook
Yeah.
to get people to, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people want to work with people that they like.
Absolutely.
And so my commercials, all my stuff, or my ads, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, are literally. Nobody else writes my ads for me.
Nice.
None of that shit. It's like, this is how I feel. This is who I am. And it's just authentically me. And you can choose. And like, I have ads where it's like, hey, look, people ask me all the time, are you worried about not getting hired because you swear in your ads or because you have tattoos? I'm fucking counting on that.
Yeah.
Like, because those are people I don't want to work with.
Well,
Right? This is who I am. Welcome to it.
Right,
Right. If
right.
you want good work from someone who's not going to have weird vibes in your fucking house, I'm your guy. If you need me to be proper,
That's
well,
not
and
me.
in construction, tell me if I'm right or wrong, but the biggest deal is being able to trust your contractor.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
they're notorious for leaving without the job. All these things that are trust.
Lunch beers,
What is
trips to the casino.
Right.
The most
job's not
trust-
fully finished, even though they got paid.
Yeah. But the most trustworthy thing is someone you see all the time.
Yep.
And just seeing you and hearing you,
Yeah.
you're at least accountable to the screen,
100%.
which means you're more likely to be accountable to me. Like, that's kind of brilliant.
Well,
Yeah.
it's one of those things, and we don't have to go too far down this rabbit hole, but it was like, I got out of prison and I decided to embrace who I am.
Yeah.
Right. Just embrace all the flaws. And it's like, literally,
Yeah.
you can love me or you can hate me.
Right.
But
But at least you know who you're getting.
if you're going to hate
Yeah.
me, it's going to be for who I really am.
That's right.
You're not going to hate me. You're some hate,
For a show I put
some
on.
fake version of me
right,
that I
right.
don't want to be anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like me for who I am, good, boss. Well, I'm good.
And also, like, I think you'll probably get people who will continue to use you. So maybe you won't have like 1,000 people who are like, I want to have you do one and done kind of thing.
Yeah.
You'll have 100. They're like, anytime we need somebody, this is our guy.
Well,
Absolutely.
and
I
I'll
think
tell you,
there's something more powerful than, in my opinion.
Yeah.
100%, the word of mouth thing, but also, because that's who I really want to work for is word of mouth people.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, man, like the amount of business we've gotten from it. And it wasn't, I figured it was going to be kind of like what you were saying, maybe 100 people, you know what I mean? Like, we'll just get us. No, man, we're overwhelmed with work. Like, people are like, that's the guy I want to work for me. Like,
Yeah.
because I feel like I can trust that guy for whatever. And I ask him again and again, like, hey, what ad did you see of me? What was it? And they were like, I just felt like you were being truthful.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
But yeah, there are times I see someone on like social media, like someone advertising, I'm like, I'm getting good vibes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
totally.
Like, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, I didn't even do a Yelp review on this person. I was like, got good energy.
Well,
Could bite you in the ass, but more often than not, it hasn't.
Totally. Yeah.
You know,
No,
the gut seems to be right a lot in my life.
being yourself is just always a good thing. And you were, and it worked. It started working for you, apparently.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took a while. It
Yeah,
definitely took
yeah.
a while. Yeah.
Right.
And,
Like,
and you started out producing,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And then you were like producing, but they gave you a microphone, right?
yeah, like there was a
Essentially.
series of people quitting or getting fired. I was the idiot, 23, 24 years old. I'll do what they're doing. You don't have to pay
Yeah.
me more. Oh, we like what you're saying. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
even like one point they're like, we're going to have to cut your hours. I'm like, and you're only going to get paid for 25 hours as opposed to 30 or 35. I'm like, that's cool. I'm going to still show up like 50 hours a week. And they're like, we can't pay you. I'm like, I'm not going to mark it down. Like I'm 20 something years old. I found a way to be able to live because I became an apartment manager in Lower Queen Anne, which I didn't have to pay rent. I didn't have to pay anything. Like I was legit. I look back on it, I feel like I was richer then than I am now. And I was making pretty much minimum wage because I had no one to worry about. Like it was just me.
No, I get that.
And you didn't have 23 apps taking a monthly fee on your phone.
Right,
you know.
I have family. And like, don't get me wrong, like I love where I'm at right now. Like I'm more blessed than ever.
Your Cadillac problems.
But like it is funny how like at that time, guys, I felt like I was the richest person in the world. I'm working at a radio station I wanted to work at. In this weird way now, I'm feeling like a sense of celebrity. And at 23, it's pretty fun. Like, I mean, like, you know, all of a sudden, I have people who are like, want to like, girls want to say hi. Dudes want to say hi. Yeah. It's like
now you don't have to pay to go to those rock shows sometimes, you know?
Oh, dude, brother. Like,
right.
Me and all of my friends were going to concerts for free because back then they were making bad business choices and giving radio stations like 100 pairs of tickets with it. Nowadays that's not so much, but at the time it was fucking awesome, man. Like it was a great life and I was having a blast and like as an introvert that had a hard time like meeting people, like it broke the ice and it was like not even for like bad reasons, like just like all of a sudden I had people that wanted to say hi and like it instilled confidence like that I didn't have at the time.
Yeah, that's cool as shit.
I had a similar arc in my tattoo career where that and I think a lot of people would be surprised how many big personalities they see who are actually shy underneath all that.
Oh, 100%.
And like a lot of us.
I'm still that guy. Like I go to a party, like I'm in like a corner, hoping that I could find one person about wrestling or
whatever.
Whatever. Like I get overwhelmed if all of a sudden there's like 7 or 8 people at a party that want to hear me tell a story.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I go back to being 15 and thinking I'm the biggest loser in the world. Yeah. Maybe now I'm 51 and still the biggest loser in the world. But I'm fortunate enough to be able to make a living off of being the biggest loser in the world.
And collected a few good stories along the way.
100%. Yeah. Some I wish I could remember too.
Right. Yeah, man.
Well, it's funny because like I go to these things with like I'll go out to something with my wife who works the room, and I'm like, hey, listen, boss, we got 90 minutes. Make it good. I'll be the trophy husband for exactly 90 minutes.
She can work the room. I'll hang out with you and we'll work the corner.
Yeah. Hey, wait.
Sure, whatever.
Where are the snacks? I'm gonna hang out there. I'll be by the snacks.
100%.
Well, and it gets even worse when you're like, you know, when you don't drink and you're at a fucking party where people are drinking. And after like 11 o'clock, you're like, God damn, dude, they're real close talking.
Yeah. They're into the 5th version of the same story.
Oh, fuck. You know? Totally. You know what you should do on your podcast? No.
Oh, yes. Right.
No, that was this weekend.
and usually that was idea. It's never been like, fucking hey, that was a great idea.
What I hear are the tattoo ideas.
Why did?
So there's a wolf, but he's a lion, and his eyes are blue, but he's black and gray.
Yeah, totally. There's 2 wolves, and they're inside of me. We're fucking dumb.
There's 2 wolves inside you?
Yeah.
Gross.
They're like bar events. Like I got a point. I used to do every especially when I wasn't making a lot of money and just trying to get by and pay my bills. Like I would take any appearance. You want me out 2 hours outside of a gas station saying hi and handing out movie passes? I'm your guy. You know? And then or like do those late night bar events where the bar owner is like being a douche because there's not enough people and you tell me go outside and bring people in. I'm like, what do you want me to do?
That's called kidnapping.
Like, all right, like I guess I'll try. And then like you deal with like really drunk people that have opinions and they, you know, and it could go from. I always joke. I'm like, sometimes I feel like I understand what like an attractive girl goes through. Like, guys come up, they're drunk. Like, let me get your number, man. And I'm like, I'm good. Whoa, what the fuck? You can't give me your number. Like, then they get mad at you. And I'm like, what? I don't know you. I literally had three minutes with you and you're drunk.
And I haven't liked a single minute.
I hated every minute.
It's been 3 minutes and all of them have been.
And it felt like 100.
I hope when you sober up, you realize how weird this entire conversation was. Like, you're mad at me as another dude that would not give you my phone number.
And then you can hit me up on fucking social media.
Nowadays, I'm like, I'll write back quicker than I would if you text me.
Totally. That's hella fucking funny, dude. So
that's
they gave
crazy.
you a mic, right?
Yeah.
They gave you this mic. You're behind the board.
Yeah.
And you start talking.
Yeah.
At what point were they like, Steve, we're giving you, we need you on the show full time.
I don't know if they ever really did, to be honest with you. I can't think of a moment where it happened. It just
Kind of inch your way in there.
It just kept happening, you know,
Yeah.
like in little
Osmosis.
ways. It was like,
You wore 'em down.
we're going to do this little trivia segment, which now we still do this. Back then I was Steve the producer, and they called it Beat the Producer. And it was just a dumb
That's
trivia
right.
game.
Yeah.
And so that kind of took off. And then they started realizing, oh, that's the highest rated segment. Well, what's the factor in there? It's like, you know, I mean, I always said like anyone can do a trivia game on the radio, and Lord knows everyone does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I feel, and maybe I'm overthinking it, and probably I am because that's just what I do. But like, I think the secret sauce for us isn't so much the questions, the trivia. Everyone loves trivia, obviously.
Right.
But like, I am having fun with the game. Like, it's like
Absolutely.
get a peek inside my brain in these stupid ways that I think, and then I have to explain why I answered it that way. It's never. It shows my flaws.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that
Yeah.
bright. And
Yeah.
a lot of times when you ask me a question about geography or things that involve like actual intelligence, I'm gonna get it wrong, and I'm gonna try my best to try and crack a joke to keep
Right.
people.
Yeah.
Like in real life.
Yeah.
Hey, over here.
I know the answer, but you know, but like I think there's something endearing about,
Yeah.
and that's what makes it stand out. I'm not trying to win. I'm trying to have fun.
Exactly.
And then slowly but surely, I just kept making my way on the air, and then it became, oh, like you're now going to be a sidekick. Great.
Yeah.
And then it just, I mean, it was really it took me into my 40s where all of a sudden it started being like, oh, the wheel is finally starting to spin. Like
Nice.
almost 20 years of doing this, like, and that's on me.
Yeah.
I think I just kept selling myself too short, or just constantly like not taking that chance, or like just assuming I don't deserve that. You know what it is?
Yeah, it's weird talk.
yeah.
Yeah, I do the same shit.
Like
That's
mean,
all very human shit. I
Yeah.
think we all do it. Yeah.
Like I always wish I had the delusional mindset that some people have.
No, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you, like, I'm world class at being like almost reaching success.
Yeah.
And then fucking it all up.
100%.
Let's face it, though.
Yeah.
If you have that delusional mindset, then you're also prone to like go live with the bears in Alaska and face that thing. You know, like that.
You're gonna pay for it eventually.
Eventually,
But they had a lot of fun really believing their own shit for a while.
Right.
That's how cults are made, bro.
You know what I heard this weekend was that guy that made a documentary about climbing, I don't know, 20 or more mountains above 20,000 feet in like this short period of time, that he died in an avalanche.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Speaking of that, like purely
delusional.
like confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was such an inspiring thing. And I don't know that when I think of the delusional mindset, I'm like, I want confidence like that guy has.
Sure.
You know?
right.
Yeah.
But I also, it would suck to die in an avalanche before I hit fucking 45, you know? Like, I mean, that part would suck.
The trade-off.
It's a trade-off.
It's like one of those things, like you're running the numbers at that point. If you're going to do it that often, eventually you're dying in an avalanche.
Yeah.
Yeah, those people who have the confidence of, like, we'll say some remotely attractive 22-year-old rich frat boy, right? Like, that's the level of confidence that I want.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I always joke about it's like Hawaii. I love going to Hawaii because everybody's body positive.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. Like I'm like, no shame.
Yeah.
I'm the same. Like I've doesn't matter. Like everyone shirts off. We're in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Like, all of us are not doing this like in the streets of Seattle.
Totally.
Right? We're not confident. We're not comfortable. Like that's
And
like,
we're also not warm.
Yeah.
Right. Right. But I just love that atmosphere. Like when you're in that vacation mindset, you're just like, oh, fuck it, shirt's coming off. Let's have a good time.
Totally.
Yeah.
I get to do this once every 3 years. We're doing it today.
I wish I had that confidence every day. For 2 weeks of the year, I have it, or 1 week of the year.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I never thought about it like that, but it's completely true.
Right.
Yeah.
You go
Right.
to Hawaii and you're just like, fuck it, we're running it.
Well,
Everybody-
yeah.
I'm walking into a restaurant shirtless and flip flops and board shorts. I'm like,
No problem.
give me that filet mignon. Yeah. And I'm eating high dining food and I'm like looking like a schlub. Yeah. But everyone else is too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Which
Pretty
is
fucking cool.
Which is pretty dope. Damon and I were talking one time, and I can't remember what the context was, but I was like, Damon was like, one of the best things money's ever given me is the ability to walk in wherever I want and eat whatever I want, dressed however I want.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
and that's
I
real
think-
shit.
Money and age.
Yeah.
Age.
Like the other day, I went to go get like some takeout food at a sushi place in Sumner.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go pick up the food. My wife's like, dressed like that. I just found at Target, they had Zubaz Seahawk pants.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Wrestling nerd.
yeah.
Zubaz was like, it was cocaine in the 80s and Zubaz.
Yeah.
It was obnoxious looking pants and it was the Seahawk colors. And I'm wearing them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even kidding. I wear them every day at home.
Oh, yeah.
I even
Are
bought-
those back in style?
I don't care. I don't know.
I don't care.
They're at Target and they have kid sizes. So now my daughter and I are wearing these.
That picture.
Yes,
That's
okay.
great.
Yeah,
Totally, yeah.
But that's
I'm
what
going to Target
Yeah.
and I'm buying a pair.
$35. It's less than you get on the
Hell
Zubaz site.
That's
Yeah.
hella dumb.
30. I'm about to go buy another pair because I know eventually I'm going to wear these out. That's the weirdo that I am. And so she's
And
like,
at $35, you can afford to buy half a dozen of them.
Yeah,
really.
and I walked into
yeah.
that place and I'm like, I think in a little bit of it's like you get to the point in your life at an age where, and I'm happy I'm at that point where it's just like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't.
Like, I'm going to walk into this place. I'm going to get my food. If someone wants to look at me like I'm weird, I'm like, I don't give a shit. My money's still good.
I'm weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Right.
Yeah, I want to be comfortable. I want to be happy.
Sure.
And somewhere like 35th on the list is, and I think I stopped caring what you think.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm thinking
Yeah.
in my head, I'm like, I don't want to walk up my flight of stairs in my house to go get my old ass is tired, my ankles hurt. I gotta go change my
Totally.
clothes.
You jump off of fucking
Right.
ropes all day long.
Now go to the place, get the food, come back home. Well, I'm not gonna eat that. I gotta be comfortable. So I'm gonna go back upstairs and go get my
Yeah.
shoes back
Hold on.
Let's just use what and all of a sudden, bing.
Let's hold, please.
I'll use one outfit for the whole fucking thing.
I'm wearing shoe beds right now.
Yeah.
Nothing else. You're a professional wrestler. You're allowed to wear Zubaz wherever the fuck you want.
Damn straight. Yeah.
Yeah, that gives you a lot more fashion latitude for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I still want to be kissed by my wife. That's the only problem. There's a
Ooh,
conundrum.
that's that, right?
I want nothing more. Because I'm a bald guy. I want to grow my hair like the skull.
Oh, just the,
Yeah.
the body? You want the Ventura?
I want the
Jesse the
Hogan,
body?
the superstar Billy Graham,
Yeah.
the Hulk
Superstar
Hogan,
Billy Graham.
bleach that shit blonde, maybe a little facial hair where it's still brown.
Do you still?
Yeah.
Do you still have, or is it like the? Is it the whole nest?
I think
egg?
it's
Is it
a
like the
full
dirty gym
cul-de-sac.
coach?
I think so. I think it's a full cul-de-sac.
That's
I could be
hard.
wrong. It's been a minute, but I mentioned that to my wife. I'm like, what do you think about me getting a skullet? She's like, what do you think about being intimate with me?
What do you think? What do you think about celibacy? Yeah.
What do you think about touching your own dick for a while?
Like, you still like to be kissed by me, right? Like, yes. But I have a buddy, my buddy Pesky in Vancouver. For a while, he did that. And I looked at him and go, man, if I didn't know you, I'd want to be your friend.
Yeah.
I already know you and love you, but like, if I didn't, I would think that's a good dude. Because like, who else is going to do something as stupid as that? Only someone who has enough, like, aware enough to be able to have fun with themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Or
totally.
a coked out wrestler from the 80s. That's
See, if I do that, the problem is it just grows out, right? So I'm gonna have like a toilet bowl seat around
You're
my
like,
head.
you're
of
like,
hair.
I'm the fire starter, twisted fire starter. Breathe with me. That's fucking great.
I mean,
Hey, man.
Let's do it.
let's do it. Fuck it. Yeah.
Bring back Skull and fucking
Yeah,
fire starter.
man.
Fucking dirty gym coach November.
Yeah, dirty gym coach.
Or they used to go the Friar Talk too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just get this part extra shiny.
Yeah.
You know, like yeah. Wax it up.
Your hair would actually look like a fucking bird's egg, like a nest.
Oh,
of
yeah.
egg.
I'm into that.
Oh my god! I come in with a falcon nesting on my head. You know.
It's like the most patriotic thing ever.
I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know that he could get any more majestic, but here we are.
Here we are.
Update the Afro skull. So it's,
Yeah,
That's for Falcon.
yeah.
So how did you get into wrestling? What was the deal? Okay,
Yeah.
you were behind the scenes for a while.
Yeah, I was,
right?
I was ring announcing, just doing some stuff here and there. And then one of my buddies was like, you want to come train with us sometime? I know you love wrestling. I'm like, if that's something I can do. Like, mind you, like, again, going back to the beginning, I think when you get to a certain age, you stop caring. Like, I think my whole life I always wanted to, but I had so many people in my ear, like family, friends, be like, the wrestling thing is stupid. And it is. But like, they were like,
But it is.
that's why I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It is
It's
stupid.
stupid, but
But
it's
it's
stupid.
I
Yeah.
think some people still think like we believe it's legitimately a sport.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you're the stupid one for thinking that we like you know
Exactly.
it's fake. I'm like, What?
I'm like, let me guess.
You on the radio show.
Yeah.
My mind is blown.
You're gonna blow the whole thing open.
All right. Are you telling me those action scenes from those movies in the 80s weren't real?
I was gonna say, yeah.
Shit.
Do you mean they didn't actually take a Fiero into space in Fast and Furious?
Oh,
Steven Seagal really can't fight?
listen,
What?
I will tell you. I will tell you about the 80s fucking action movies, right? Like,
Best.
you gotta love something when they genetically modify themselves. Like, here's the thing: I think that there should be a freak beast league in all sports. You should have a league where
Yes.
they're allowed to do whatever they want, whatever performance enhancing, whatever.
Yeah.
Push it to the limit. I want to see the
Push it to the limit.
gigantic freak beasts.
Oh, dude,
fucking
my
beat-
argument has always been like when you announce your retirement and you have one last season, all bets are up.
Yeah.
That guy go on
Right.
the-
Right.
You agree, you sign the paperwork, this is your last year, inject whatever the fuck you want.
That's right.
And let's have that monster season.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I know, right?
Yeah, like, fucking watch you ding them bitches over the fence all day long. Because I'll tell you what, baseball hasn't been fucking exciting since fucking Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco
For real though,
were out
right?
there fucking dinging.
Barry Bonds.
Yeah, just fucking freak beast league.
The Barry Bonds, like before and after, will forever live in like, I don't know if they're trying to scare people from steroids or if that's like the ultimate commercial for steroids. It's
Right.
insane.
It's a little bit
Right,
of both,
yeah.
bro, let's be honest, because
100%.
both and,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah.
I will say that, like, I recently rewatched, or not rewatched, there's a new season of American Gladiators out,
Yes.
right? And I was explaining to my
They
son,
they got wrestlers in there.
yeah, totally. And I was explaining to my son, I was like, look, man, I want to watch people that are freak beasts beat each other up with pool noodles. Like, this was my childhood, right? Like,
Noodle.
I want to see people getting tennis balls shot at their face.
That was
Yeah.
That was the one. Just bam.
That's the one I always wanted to do. I don't want to fuck with the joust or with the one where
Right.
you put the ball in the fucking
Yeah.
tube where they wreck you.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
that shit's hilarious. Where they just fucking demolish you.
Like, you're having a bad day? Nitro's gonna fuck you up.
They're all like literally making $13 an episode and have to fight to fucking make 10. So they're destroying the people. You're like, wow, I think he killed that. That guy was a nurse.
The look in their eyes are like, oh, I'm allowed to do this.
Right.
And they were on that good 80s juice, bro. They were like,
Oh yeah.
like racehorses.
Yeah,
That's right.
That was a moment in time. Shout out to fucking
Like racehorses, they're taking the actual steroids
Wistrol.
from racehorses. Yeah.
Kind of crazy. Yeah, but so I did like the training, and then I was like, oh, it'd be kind of fun if maybe one day I had a match, like just one match. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I started training in my 40s,
Okay.
like early
Right.
40s. So I'm like, so I did the training. I was kind of picking up good enough. Like I knew where my body can go. Like there were certain things I could not pull off that other younger guys can.
Right.
But I was like, and also I grew up being a wrestling fan, so I knew the mindset of it all, like the psychology of it,
Yeah.
the character, and then doing radio. I had the comfortable in front of a mic, so I had some things that I had some positives that I could kind of like use to my advantage.
Cool.
Right.
So finally had that one match, and I'm like at the Showbox of all things. It was like 2-1 battle used to be a thing, and it was like they had a big show at the Showbox, and they created this story arc of me, and I had this match, and I was like, oh, I can't just stop at one. I was like, let me do another one, and then it's just been this series of like I'll do maybe one a month. Now I'm like, then I'm doing like 3. I'll only do like ones like maybe within like 30 minutes from my house. Now I'm like going to Texas or going Vancouver, British Columbia, like all over. But I'm having the best time, and I'm like, this is like one of the greatest experiences of my life, and I'm getting to do what I always want to do as a kid. So it's like I'm living this dream.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm like $50-$60, maybe $100 if I'm lucky, but
Right.
having the best time doing it. But then like the beauty of doing it when I was older, I didn't give a shit. But also the bad side of doing it when you're older is things hurt more.
Oh yeah.
So like I'm now at that point where it's like, I was like, okay, I'll stop when I'm 50. I turned 50. I'm like, I'm still having fun. I'm going to go till the wheels come off.
Yeah.
Now 51. I'm like, the wheels are getting a little wobbly.
They're starting to wobble.
You know like that when you're like, I maybe need to get away from that car because I think that wheel's flying off. It's getting to that point. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I hope I have another year, but like there are times where I'm like, do I really want to keep doing this? But then I do it.
And then you're like, yeah.
Oh, I love this. It's such it's a adrenaline rush. It's a high.
Yeah.
It's creative. It's physical. Like, like I think at the end of the day, when you're having a bad day, you would love nothing more than just like punch somebody in the face.
Yeah.
But you can't. Of
Yeah.
course. You don't want to do that.
Well,
Like,
and there is something like,
But
I started skateboarding at like 57.
Yeah.
You did do that.
which I won't say that was a good idea. It did land me in the hospital, but There is something gratifying about flying up into the air, landing on your hip, and getting back up,
100%.
and being like, especially at a certain age, you know that like there's a lot of people our age that couldn't do that, and I can. So.
Do you think when you pick that up? I know, like when I did the wrestling, and I don't know if anything where people then start going, "Oh, is this your midlife crisis thing?" And I remember being younger and thinking, like, when someone gets like a nice car,
sad.
It's like, "Oh, midlife crisis." Now that I've gotten to that point in my life where I've been accused of that, I'm like, motherfucker, you don't understand. We're at a point now in our life where we just don't care.
Yeah, we
First of all,
that person who bought that nice car, they've always wanted that nice car, but somebody told them no for years.
And that's a midlife celebration.
Yeah.
That's
midlife fun
not
times.
a
That's what I call
crisis.
it. Yeah.
I went and did 7 pounds of cocaine.
Yeah.
That was a midlife crisis. I lost 100 pounds.
You did.
That was a crisis.
That happened.
A guy driving a Corvette.
That happened. Yeah.
That's a celebration, man.
Well, I will say, unless it's for the wrong reasons, right? Like, what are your reasons?
Right.
Right? If you're doing it because
if you bought it so that you could leave your wife and go fuck a stripper.
That's a crisis.
Yeah, that's a crisis.
We're driving into crisis territory.
Well, that wife was saying he couldn't have sex with a stripper for all those years.
Right.
It was wrong.
I've always wanted to sleep with a stripper.
That was my dream, babe.
Yeah. Don't dream shape.
Pretend fighting my friends in spandex. And I'm not even, I don't even want that to exist out there. That's not true. Pretend fighting friends in spandex is true. That's
Right.
Speaking of this, it was funny because Amber's doing the fucking Go Like Hell reunion. Right?
Yeah.
And I will give her credit and say that it didn't end up happening. But I was like, people were like, man, Amber killed it. And I was because she's working the crowd. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, I think it's going to be a couch day for Amber tomorrow.
Yeah.
And she was fucking,
I saw a lot of video clips and she was really getting it, man.
full Iggy Pop, right?
Yeah.
And you know,
And there was a part of me that got concerned because I'm like, you haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
That's
But
like
it's that adrenaline.
that neck's gonna be sore.
Even when wrestling, like, dude, I'll spend an entire afternoon with my kid and I'll be on the floor playing. She's 6 and just like, Daddy, come with me. She'll pop up and go to the next room. I'm like, I'm gonna need a second. I'm like trying to find the most like least painful way to get myself up. And it takes more than a minute sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I go in the ring and I get knocked down. I'm up quicker than I can. And like it blows some people's minds when they find out I'm 51 and I'm wrestling. They're like, dude, I thought you were like 30 something with the way you're moving. I'm like, cool, I appreciate that. Now, if you see me at home crying, crying, right, then you're gonna be like, bro, I thought you were 61 by the way.
You ever seen The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke?
Dude.
A lot of that.
There are moments where you realize, oh my gosh, it's not as bad, but but there is people that have lived that life, and I could sometimes feel. Okay, I'm feeling a little targeted at this part. You know? But it's like, I don't know. I remember like when like my parents were giving me a hard time about it when my mom was like, when are you going to grow up? And I'm like, damn, thanks, Mom.
Hopefully never.
Like,
never.
You know, like I have a family, I'm paying my bills, I'm doing my dream job. I feel like I have grown up, but in their eyes, this was part of why I didn't want to, I could never do that wrestling thing or chase. Because it was like I was being judged for it.
Yeah. You were having it squelched.
And do you feel like the East Coast too, just culturally, is more traditionalist?
Yes.
You know, like they've like
Well, it blew their mind. I think when I brought home my wife, who's not a Sicilian. Italian.
Right.
She's the first in my family that's not Italian.
Oh, you're okay.
So, like,
I wondered if you were Italian.
Everyone's 100% Sicilian. So like when we, you know, and outside of like the immediate family, sure there are some.
And
like,
Italians from Sicily.
Yeah,
because that's
a whole different
vibe. I've been all over Italy.
Yeah.
I've spent time in Sicily.
Yeah,
and it's really a different country.
Its own thing. Yeah,
yeah. It's a different.
Well, at one point it was a different country.
Right.
No, I mean it was Greece.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I went to Greek ruins there, and
So I think you're absolutely right. I think it was like that. We have a tradition. We have a way of things.
They're super Italian.
You can't do anything else. But I was kind of like that black sheep in my family in a sense. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, well, now I don't have anyone to answer to. Someone offered this opportunity.
I'm literally 3,000 miles away from these people. They don't know what I'm doing.
And
I could tell them whatever. There's no internet.
Yeah,
and they don't. You know what I mean? Like they don't care.
And on my personal thing, for a while I wasn't even posting a lot of like the social media stuff. But I bring it up like the wrestling stuff because like my parents are like, well, what are you going to do when you get older and like you're going to be hurting? I'm like, you guys were in pain in their 40s. And all you did was sit on the couch.
You sure?
And it's like no shade, but like your life was go to work, come home miserable, sit on the couch, watch the news, and just be mad at the world and be physically in pain.
And how
At
much
least
of
I'm
that?
doing some things that, yes, I'm going to be in a lot of pain. I know that. And I'm probably going to regret at times like the things that I did.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to regret the fact that I have all these stories and all these great moments in my life that I got to do because I just said, fuck it. And I don't care how old I am. I'm going to wrestle.
Well, and I want to choose my pain.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
I mean, it's kind of like
pain has a story.
it has a story, and like if you're gonna hurt one way or the other, why not hurt doing something, having fun?
Thank you.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, and this is probably going to sound pretty weird, but like,
Nothing on here
was gonna
sounds
say,
weird.
yeah, here we go. But I'm just going to run it. Like watching on Instagram, watching you do this arc on Instagram, right? And Damon and I deciding we were going to do this. There has been times that like I've seen, you know, one of your posts about wrestling and like, look, none of us here are spring chickens.
No.
Right? Like
from it.
I'll be 48 next month, right? And you know, Damon's 59.
Yep.
And like, as people like the people like us, we're trailblazers in the sense that we're like, we are going to continue to progress until we die. We've made these choices, right? We're going to continue, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't get lonely. And it doesn't mean that you don't second guess those choices sometimes.
No, I think you're absolutely
And
right.
there's some of your posts that have literally been like, no, I'm going to continue to do this, right? Like I could be just construction guy who does construction for the rest of my life and it'd be perfectly fine, right? But you know, like there's times where doing this kicks your ass, and then you're scrolling Instagram and you see you see I am Steve Migs,
cool.
fucking, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it. What are we doing? Let's run it. Yeah, like
Dude,
wait,
I love
And it
that.
inspires me to go ahead and take my own risks.
absolutely,
No,
yeah.
and that's the same with me when I see people doing things that I think I'm like, I just love, even if I don't even know what the fuck they're doing, I don't understand what they're doing.
Totally.
It's just, I love that somebody is so passionate that they block out that outside noise. And
You
I've
have
had like
to.
listeners, and I never meant it this way. It was never meant to be like, I'm going to find a way to inspire our audience. But I've had messages from people like, dude, because of your stories, I'm 40. I just started learning how to ice skate so I could play hockey. And I'm like,
there you
dude,
go.
That is better than anything I could have ever asked.
Oh
for.
yeah.
When
and that's
you have those moments that you've inspired somebody like that. Yeah, like getting a paycheck is really nice.
and inspired someone to get exercise.
Yes.
To exercise their body
life
and their
changing
mind, to
100%.
learn, to stay
Yeah.
vital.
Yeah.
Like that's how you stay alive.
Bone density, baby.
What
Yeah.
do you sit on the couch and watch TV at 40 until you're 60? At 65 you retire, and then what? You die.
Then
I always-
hopefully you make it to 65, you get
Right.
the gold watch, but probably not.
Right.
You're probably going to die on the horse one day.
Yeah.
And then a couple weeks later, everybody's going to be at a fucking funeral home eating food. And then you're done. That's it. You're cooked. Where
Yeah,
did you leave?
that's not
Yeah.
not the path I want.
Yeah.
man.
Where did you leave? You
I know
didn't
you
get
get
the
old.
gold
You start
watch.
thinking about that legacy stuff, and I know it's like a kind of like a cliche thing to say, but there is a certain level of like I like for people to think like this person's actions helped change my course.
Yeah.
and I think there's something that is really fucking cool.
You know, I write questions, right? And I had this question based off of this exact premise, right? And it was like, has a listener ever told you that your show carried them through something you had no idea they were experiencing, right? So like, tell us a story about a time somebody was like, you just did.
Okay.
Somebody was like, hey man, your fucking show is, and you were like,
dude,
holy
like-
shit.
I learned like rather quickly, like not rather quickly, but over time, like when I share the stories that I'm scared to share on the air, those are the ones that resonate. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so when I share something, I'm like, man, this is gonna make me look like a fool, or like this is hard. And like I always my mindset, and everyone's different, but I always been like, I won't share a heavy story unless there's some levity to it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So like
yeah.
one that's ridiculous. I have a good one that's really powerful, but the one that I always that always gets a weird look. So I deal with. I don't know what the proper name is, but it's basically an anal Charlie horse.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like
All
you
right.
get like a butt cramp, and it's
But on your butthole, like your whole butthole's cramped?
like when I was a kid, I used to think it was because I had to really poop really bad.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I would sit on the toilet for like an hour and I can't poop. But
Right.
like, it was just like, I know it's kind of vile and gross. but so one day I shared this story on the air because I was like, it's funny. Like
Right.
I'm in tears and pain, but like, I was like,
Yeah.
I haven't, it's called an anal. My wife went on Wikipedia at the time because I had to leave the room and she's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I got to admit to this, like to this girl that I'm dating. Like, she's like, do you have like hemorrhoids? Like what? Like, no, it's just, I don't
There's
know.
nothing bleeding.
It's
It
like
just is
proctal fungus or something it's called. I can't remember, but like whatever. And so I share it. The emails and the text would be like, dude, I had the same thing. I didn't even know that was something that someone else experienced. And I'm like, wow, we've all
Right.
bonded over a butt cramp. But
Yeah.
how cool is that?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So like, I had that mindset now. I'm like, wow, that kind of opened my eyes. Like, Open up yourself. So, serious story. My wife and I decided we want to have a kid.
Yeah.
And like at first, when we first were together, both of us were like, nah, we don't want kids. So one day she's like, what do you think about having a kid? I'm like, oh, honestly, I feel like that is our next chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we try and have a kid and try in the ways that everyone loves to do.
Right.
Nothing.
Lots of
Kept
prep.
trying. Then we're like, okay, well, maybe we should try some of the medical ways and IVF and IUI first. IUI.
Right.
Do a few of those. Not working. All right, fuck it. Let's sell some stuff. Let's take some money out of this. Let's do the IVF.
Yeah.
Right.
Try that. Not working. Let's try it again. Try that. Not work. Going broke.
Wow.
But like and this is 6 years.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Our life. And at first I was like, I can't share this on the air. Like
Wow,
I don't want, like, you know.
It's embarrassing.
It
You fucking attach masculinity to it and all this shit.
But how many people are missing out on the connection because of our own fear of like image?
Being
ego.
vulnerable.
And the funny thing is, like, you feel like you're alone, but there's clinics.
Yeah.
They didn't make a clinic just for me. You know what I mean? Like,
we foresee Steve Migs coming someday. Let's build a business.
But not only that,
business on Lake Union. Really cheap.
no, not only that, we're gonna make 1,000 of them, so we will.
Right.
There are a lot of motherfuckers with bad eggs and bad eggs and bad sperm and
Bad swimmers,
everything, both male and female. So I remember it was a Q13 reporter. She used to work radio, Casey Atchison, and she shared her story, and I was like, whoa. Like it resonated with me. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forget. Like when you hear someone else's story, you don't feel alone.
Yeah.
Of course, I tell my wife this. My wife's like, that's great, but she's having a kid. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. Like it's easy to feel hope when you have good news.
Once you're on the other side of it. Yeah.
Right. So it's really hard. So finally, I told my wife, I'm like, I need to share these stories. I won't go too into detail, but I was like, I feel like this will resonate with some people.
Yeah.
And so I went on the air and shared the story. And mainly I was sharing it from the perspective of this is a really weird thing. Like to try and have a child through science.
Right.
Because like you go to a place, a reproductive clinic.
Right.
I have to go into a room that's called the collection room.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
you
share
could build a
these
comedy
stories.
sketch on this for sure.
So it's like I'm trying to find the levity in it. And like I have to go into a room and I have a nurse handing me a brown paper bag and then I go in the room and I'm like, and she'll be like, there's magazines in there if you'd like. I'm like, I'm just gonna stick with my phone.
Yeah.
And then I go in there and I'm like,
I will touch the thing I brought in here.
I didn't realize this collection room is bad with cellular data. So I'm like, I don't have service. I'm like, should I open the door? And, what's the Wi-Fi?
Nothing's worse than a porn that keeps stopping.
There are times I go into the collection room, I meet a listener, and then they're like, Migs, good to meet you. Put their hand. I'm like, let's fist bump, brother.
Yeah.
Right. So all these stories. I remember there was a time where and time is of the essence. So like, you know, egg, I need to now go there to go visit the collection room. So one time my wife's like, I need to go down there. I'm at work. I'm like, well, I'll go with my mom and my grandma. I'm like, great. They'll drop you off. I'm like, I have a huge favor though. Please, can they just drop you off and not be there with you? And she's like, why? I'm like, I have to go into a collection room. The last thing I want to look at before I go into the collection room is my mother-in-law and my grandmother-in-law.
Oh,
like,
God.
you know what I mean? Like, she's like, got it. Makes sense. I'm like,
Yeah,
cool.
this ain't Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You know? Like, yeah.
So I get there. I'm like, it's time. Like, I got my phone ready. I'm all good to go. Walk into the office. There's my wife. There's my mother-in-law. And there's my wife's looking at me like, and then she's going mouthing. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's fine. Give them both a hug. My mother-in-law gives me a kiss on the cheek. I'm like, we don't know. But I share these stories because I'm like, okay, I don't want people to feel sympathy. I want them to understand, like, hopefully if you're listening and you're going through this, you're not alone. But for the people who don't give a shit, at least I could tell them a fun story about what's going on.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I kind of hoped that maybe a couple people were like, hey, that resonated with me because we're going through this. I didn't realize though that, I mean, my DMs, I still have a lot of them.
Yeah.
People will be like, after my family, you were the first person I wanted to tell that we're having a kid. I have goosebumps right now.
Oh, wow.
Like, legit.
Amazing.
Like I get real emotional about it, but like, it's like mind numbing, like how cool it is when someone's like, you're the first person I thought of outside of my immediate family that you could tell we're having a child. And then, of course, I'm like, well, you're going to name it Steve? Or not?
Hey!
Which works for both sexes.
Right, Stevie. I mean, come on.
Taking Steve children.
Like, you know, like that. And they're like, you're telling us this. My wife and I would listen and we'd hear that story and it meant something. And then when you said you were having a kid, it gave us hope.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's all. I think that's what we all want in life. It's hope.
Yeah,
you know?
right?
Dude,
like
absolutely.
hope of whatever it is. Like hope that, you know, end of the month, we're gonna pay our bills. I hope that our significant others, our loved ones, are healthy. Whatever it is,
Hope is where every true life dream starts.
It's the beauty of
that's
like super religious, but that's the beauty of religion.
Yeah.
In my eyes, it's hope.
Bringing you hope.
When it dies is like that's.
And hope died for us for a minute, and
it sucks.
Yeah.
That's a bottom.
Yeah.
That's when you hit a bottom. When hope's dead, you've hit a bottom.
And then there were times like on the air, like I'd be doing the show, and then I'd get the text from my wife saying it didn't work, and I'd be like trying to crack fart jokes,
Right.
And then, and then I'd go in the other room and I'm bawling, and then one of my coworkers has to be like, "Hey man, we're a minute away." I'm like, "Shit." All right.
Yeah.
How do I
got to keep it together?
How do I? And I'm sure like if I went on the air and shared that, like that would be powerful. Sure.
Right.
But, like, it also that's from.
You don't want to be performative.
I don't want to be like crying my eyes out and then making people, how it is. If someone's crying in front of you, you're like, I feel awful for you, but can you please stop crying?
Right. Right.
I will hug the fuck out of you if it means you will stop crying.
To stop crying.
Yeah.
Kid cries. I'm like, how do we get her to stop crying?
Give it something. Right? It's making noise.
Make a silly face.
My grown daughter had IVF. Right. And I think they did a couple rounds.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. But it was real close to the vest.
Yeah.
They didn't tell anybody.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Until they knew for fucking sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it was like they locked in for a couple months.
And it never worked. Like we ended up having our kid. It was the tried old story of like, just when you stop caring about it, that's when it happens. And my wife did she went to like a fertility acupuncture specialist, which I didn't even know existed. But like, and we still don't know if that's why she got pregnant or if the acupuncture relieved stress, which then helped us have a kid.
Because then you're under pressure. You're like, you're doing it under the barrel of a gun.
Yeah. So like,
constantly.
It was definitely like one of those things where I remember my wife and I looking at each other like, I wish we would have done this acupuncture shit before. That was just a couple $100.
Pregnancies come from poking.
Apparently. It was crazy. I had so much respect for my wife, just what she had to like endure, like the shots.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
It's just like, when I share sometimes that story, some people are like, you're sharing it like we're supposed to feel like, some people want to just find anything to argue about. And they're like,
oh God,
you want us to have sympathy for you. Talk about your wife had the hard job, not you. And I'm like, you're right.
I never said anything different.
I never said, this wasn't a story of me being like, I'm the hero.
Right.
I'm just telling you my experience.
Right. And I'm hoping that my experience can maybe make somebody's experience that they're going through, it gives them that hope of maybe there is a light at the end of this tunnel.
Yeah.
This motherfucker dealt with it for 6 years and it never worked. But then one day it ended up,
Yeah. It took.
Yeah. But that to answer your question, that to me will forever be
that's amazing.
One of the coolest, that is the coolest thing that has ever happened because of my job is to make that connection with the audience.
Yeah. And
I think that's one of the highest callings of being able to have a voice be heard by many is to try to, in the middle of the jokes and the entertainment aspect of it, to be able to inspire
100%.
and to relate and to let people know that no one's alone. Whatever you're going through, there are other people going through it, guaranteed.
No matter how dumb or how serious. Like, we are all we're all weird motherfuckers.
Everybody, nobody's got it together. I don't give a fuck who you are.
No.
Right. And if you do, you just don't. All right. And it's funny because I go back and forth sometimes. I try to remember to talk about having gone to prison.
Yeah.
And I bring it up a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's not in a performative way.
No.
It's I want people to see what can happen.
Yeah.
Right? If you believe in yourself and you just put in the work and you just do what the fuck just be a good person every day.
Well, especially in that situation where you have so many people who have just made a knee-jerk decision to not believe in you.
Yep.
And like, absolutely. how do you overcome that?
Yeah. We do this thing and we talk about it, but you're right. You instantly get written off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And we it's a stigma not only to other people, but we've been stigmatized ourselves, the people that have been there, so that we get out and we have this like Eminem 8 Mile kind of like, you're right. My mom is a fucking drug addict. I am. My girlfriend is a hoe. I am poor.
Yeah.
Right. So we just
which is the basis of why he was so popular, was he took all the things that nobody wants to say about themselves and said, this is who I am. Here it is.
This is who I am.
Everybody who's been through fucked up shit, you can relate to me.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why everybody loved him in that.
Yeah.
Right. Is because he disarmed people with it.
Yeah.
But that can even go a little far. You know what I mean?
Well,
you gotta everything in moderation. But when you first get out, you're just on your sleeve. It's just there, and you have a choice. And some people, there's two camps. There's the people who get their records expunged and act like it never happened.
Sure.
And then there's people like me who the reason I'm going to prison is probably going to be a movie at some point, right? I really can't hide from it.
Yeah.
So I have no other choice but to actually take radical personal responsibility and ownership, right? And then how does that translate? Well, I can talk to people. I can help people with that. And people tell me all the time, they're like, fucking, I see you out here doing it. Like I currently have a friend who has been to prison 4 times. He's 51 years old and he's called me and he's in jail right now. And he's like, all right, I'm ready to finally be sober.
Yeah.
What do we need to do?
How great is it they called you?
Yeah. What can you do for me? And I'm like, well, we can figure it all out. Right.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, well, I need to get into a 6-month treatment and I need to be released from jail to a 6-month treatment. Like he's serious.
Yeah.
And this guy is like an old school legend in the town. And he's just been running the streets since he was like fucking 13 years old.
Yeah.
And he's never really given it a shot. But because we're out here doing this, he's like, well, fuck.
This is his midlife crisis.
Yeah.
It's like
100%.
right. Like he's finally probably doesn't care about any of the pressures of the life that he once lived. And now he's like, I just want to clean this shit up. I don't want to go to jail anymore. Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because I told him, I was like, hey man, we had this guy on the show, who was brilliant. His name is Brad Holden, and he's written a bunch of books about.
Brad was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a Seattle Artifacts. Is his Instagram name. If you don't follow him, you totally should.
Okay.
But he's written a lot of books about Seattle criminality, right? Like from bootlegging times, he's up to now. He was how we got in with. I guess now is a spoiler time. Frank Carlacuccio Jr.
Oh yeah.
You told me that I perked up like you just said. Had like Arnold Schwarzenegger on the show.
Right.
What the strip club moguls?
What? Yeah.
Can
Frank
you tell
Jr.
him thank you?
Yeah, Brad was definitely a catalyst for that. But, I told Brad when he was here, I was like, I have a friend that if he ever gets sober, you should write all of his stories from the street. And that's the friend.
That's great.
Who called me a couple, 3 weeks later. You know what I mean? And I told him, I was like, hey, I got this guy that I bet you I could, and you could have some traction. And and
there's real soul healing value in being able to take your darkest times and turn them to good effect.
Absolutely.
By making them useful for others.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, so I think not only like what we've had some experience with that, but for this guy getting out of prison, that might be a valuable part in him being able to rewrite his own story going forward by being able to help people with what he's been through.
I think that's the most.
He's not hiding from his past.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think that is the recipe to success. I think when you keep hiding from something, eventually
sunlight is the best disinfectant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it for you, like, I mean, that the decision, even when you got out of prison, like you had the choice of either listening to what those idiots are saying, where they just assume you will never amount to much, or being like, I'm going to rewrite this story.
Yeah.
Because you could have easily leaned hard into, you think I'm going to go back behind bars? Well, you know what? I'm going to prove you right.
Yeah. And it was.
Well, you got to listen to the qualified advice. Like you found the guy who was a radio voice.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah.
And you followed his advice. And Thorin came out of prison and followed in the footsteps of people who had succeeded.
That's all. I mean, it's very random and stupid, but like even with like social media, when people get all worked up about like some like Johnny 59723's opinion on X or Instagram, and I'm like, why do we care about the opinion of people that we don't know? And if we did know, we probably wouldn't care about their opinion.
I wouldn't like them. Yeah.
Your opinion is shit. Yeah. So why am I going to let it bother me? Like I should care about like if you guys were like blah blah blah. I'm like, maybe I need to like kind of have a moment of reflection because like I respect you guys.
People, people have experience in that path that we're on.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No. Totally.
Yeah. I can't ask a family member from Spanaway who's never been to Poland how to get through Poland.
Yeah.
I will be glad to listen to the advice of friends who grew up there or whatever, which I did, by the way, go to Poland and listen to the advice of a friend named Marek who grew up in Poland.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was awesome.
Speaking of fucking specimens.
I mean,
no, I'm telling you,
he looks like the first guy off the Viking ship. I mean, he really,
he's like 6'5",
and like that soccer player.
Even
crazy about.
I'm telling you,
he looks like the reason the villagers run when he jumps off the Viking ship.
Telling you,
he's beast.
Okay, to give you some context about Mark, we used to have these summer barbecues. We'd have one a month. June, July, August, September down at Golden Gardens. And we used to tell Marek, we like, you can come to one because you were making us look bad in front of all of them. You get 1 month, dog. Like, because you're going to come down here, you're going to be in cowboy boots and jeans. You're going to take your fucking shirt off.
Right.
And you're going to look like like literally, he looks like Lothar the Barbarian, right? Like
all the single dudes are like, is Mark coming? Oh,
my time. Is Mark going to be there? Yeah, fuck that, right?
I'll move on to someone else's party.
All while he's also nice and genuinely
Just the
funny
coolest
and
fucking
like,
guy. But you're like, you know, you're like, hey, eyes over here. Look at his wife. Hey, you can look at that schlub.
Right, your eyes are also over there too. You both need to stop looking at it.
oh,
Fucking A. Okay, so I got a question. You're a drummer,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Are you still drumming?
I do drum. I drum for Jesus now. I play in a worship group at my.
That's dope.
My
Oh,
wife,
cool.
My wife helped build a church in Puyallup in South Hill, Hope City Church. It's
Nice.
awesome, great people. And once, of course, they find out you play drums, they're just like,
oh yeah,
hey, you know, like the pastor was also a drummer, so I'm kind of like, when he can't or doesn't
Oh, you
want
don't
to do
outdo
it,
the pastor.
right? I mean,
He's a man of God.
and he's a great drummer.
Yeah.
right.
But
It's
yeah,
God- it's God
so
given.
that's the only drumming I'm doing right now. Like I was
Yeah.
playing in a lot of rock bands and over the years, and I miss it. But like I'm when I find that one hobby, I just kind of stick with that. So wrestling is like it went from like music,
Right,
then I got really into playing hockey again. And then I fell in love with wrestling and I try to work music in it too. But I'm like, so when people are like, you have all these hobbies, you're so busy. I'm like, no, I just pick one. And then the other ones go on the back burner until I'm kind of done with that.
That's
So
yeah.
when this wrestling thing will eventually end, I mean, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this for much longer. Then I think I'm getting that itch to play drums again, like
So-
in a band.
You're not going to be the 65-year-old Ric Flair going,
I hope not. But you know what? I didn't think I'd be a 50-year-old wrestler, and here I am still doing it. So, I mean, who knows what life's going to
Who
throw you away?
knows?
But like
Yeah.
that's the beauty of I think like my 40s. I would have never guessed we're going to be how my 40s went. Like my 30s were out of shape, partying and doing stupid stuff, and playing hockey and having a good time and playing music, and then all of a sudden, like you know, cleaned everything up. Like you know, I mean, I'm not like fully sober, but like you know, like I'm just not. That isn't
not
my life.
fucking-
Partying isn't my life anymore. It's like once a year.
Yeah.
And now it's just
so your parents, you did grow up some.
you
found a nice compromise with them. Yeah.
But in their eyes, I'm doing the most childish thing possible.
Well,
and they're right.
And thank God for that. You know,
Right? That's what keeps us young.
it's also a both and situation.
Yeah.
I
That's
do miss-
right.
I miss playing the drums, though. I love playing music.
Well,
Yeah.
and to be fair, I think we should say that if Damon and I could effectively party once a year, we'd absolutely do
100%.
that.
Yes.
yeah, right,
We're
right,
just-
right.
We're just not.
It's
We're
like-
just, you
yeah.
still got it, right?
It's
Like,
Rumspringer for me.
you're out sowing your oats. So, out of all the creative things that you've done, right? You've been the producer, you've been the drummer, you've been the wrestler, you've been fucking the Migs Show.
Yeah.
What is the most? And I'm sure they're all fulfilling, but what is the most fulfilling out of all of those?
The wrestling, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I mean, the radio is great. Don't get me. I love doing the radio. I'm blessed. I work with some incredible Taryn Daly, who's the Daly part of the.
Taryn's
Daly
rad.
Band. You know,
Yeah.
Danny V.
Which-
you know,
Danny's fucking awesome.
Which, by the way, Taryn
Yeah.
Daly's on the list. At
Yeah,
some
you
point
love
to get
her.
her.
You love her, Danny
Yeah.
as well. Like I'm so lucky. The crew that I have is the best I've ever. I'm never been happier doing radio.
Yeah.
Greatest crew. The wrestling thing is just it's so weird because I know it makes people will roll their eyes when I bring up wrestling and things like that. But like, there's nothing more immediate artistically and creatively than going out there and like you're in your spandex. You know when you walk out there, there's a room full of people, and I love doing like fair shows and like non-wrestling fan shows because they have that stigma of it's that fake WWE shit or WWF shit.
Yeah.
And then you go out there and like you can see like they get lost in it. And they're like, and you can witness like radio. I love radio, but when it comes to like what fulfills me creatively, I can't tell if someone likes what we're doing until like maybe ratings come in or you get a message or you know, you're in this like room. I'm sure you guys experience it right now. Like you have no idea if what you're doing is fun
Or magic.
like you hope it is.
Yeah.
You're having a good time, but until you meet some people, so sometimes it takes months until you know what you did resonates.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm in a ring, and especially when I'm a bad guy. If I do something and I get that crowd to react,
I saw a clip of you like
awesome
taunting children, and it was hilarious
Dude,
because they're taunting you, and you're being really nice about it, but you're still, you know what I mean? Like, like you met them at their level, you know. But
I don't want the parents to be mad,
but it was like, adorable.
It's so much fun.
Oh man,
it's so much. It makes me be. It reminds me of being a kid dragging my mom to a church in Brooklyn to see an independent wrestling show where I'm seeing these guys that I think are the larger than life biggest superstars in the world who probably on the weekdays are working some kind of a job.
He's a plumber.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No different than me. Like these kids or they think like this is I'm this wrestler. Like I'm no different than like not physically, but like I'm no different than like John Cena to them.
Right.
But then it's like that's just what I do on the weekend. So there's something cool about that. But it's just I love how quickly I can see this art that is storytelling in a physical form resonate with somebody. And like and going back to like when we were talking about how like, you know, when you have an impact on someone, I remember I had a match and I was wrestling as a heel. I didn't really know like why am I doing this? It fulfills a boyhood dream. This woman pulled me aside and she's just like, hey, I just want to thank you. And I'm like, for what? Like, you know, I'm thinking, you know, like,
you're right.
What do you mean? Like, you know, and she's like, I cursed you out the entire 15 minutes of that match. I'm like, cool, okay.
Yeah.
And she's like, I had the shittiest week and yelling at you made me feel bad. And I was like,
awesome.
Wow.
Like, there's my why.
Yeah.
I never knew it. Like, I never knew it. And then like, I've had now, like even over the weekend, I wrestled in Tacoma at the Armory and this lady, Kim, she came up to me. She's like, I felt so good yelling at you. Like, I can't do that anywhere else. Like there's not many other art forms where you can't go to a comedy show. You can't go to a play. Nowadays, you really can't even go to a sporting event where you can just be like, fuck you, you piece of shit.
Right.
And people are like, totally, that's cool.
Yeah.
And like, I love being that person that is like their punching bag in a sense.
Well,
you know
there's
what I mean?
got to
Like,
be
'cause it's cathartic.
there's got to be something cool too about doing that role well and getting that response, but then realizing afterwards that they have separated that and they know that you are a person.
Kids too.
And they come and say, you know, like
The kids are smarter than we think.
Yeah.
Like,
Kids are smarter than most people.
They know they like during that match, they're yelling mean things. They're calling me Mr. Clean. They're calling me this. My favorite was I had a room full of kids calling me Caillou. And I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that meant.
That's hella funny, dude.
And I didn't
You got a kid.
So I'm having this match, and the entire room is in Canada, and they're all going Caillou, Caillou, and I'm wrestling this dude. I put him in a headlock, and I'm like, hey man, what the fuck is a Caillou? I'm thinking it's like a Lord of the Rings character that's bald. Like that's and so I'm like, it's like out of a movie. I'm wrenching the headlock, and I'm like, who the fuck's Caillou? And he's like, oh, it's an annoying kid on television, a cartoon, and he's a real annoying kid.
And he's bald as fuck.
Right. I'm like, sick. Now I have stickers of me in the Caillou logo. Instead of saying Caillou, it says Migs.
Hell yeah.
And that match was happening. My face was bleeding because he headbutted me unintentionally in the face, and he busted open my lip, and I'm bleeding everywhere.
Nice.
So my little sticker of Caillou has a little blood coming out of it.
Nice.
Like, that kind of shit's like super fun. These kids are just chanting. That was their thing. I'm Caillou to them.
Awesome.
That's dope, dude.
I love it, dude. I think that's what's missing in wrestling right now is like so many wrestlers want to be the badass heel. I love 80s wrestlers, 80s heels. Like the guys who unapologetically just want to be disliked.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, it's like when you go to a wrestling show, I don't want to be, who should I be cheering for? Or half the room's cheering for one guy. I have to love, it's biblical in a sense, good versus evil.
Sure.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like that's the easiest story to tell.
We wish, as humans, we want everything to be that clean.
Yeah.
And in so many ways in life, we know that it's never that clean.
In life, it never is.
Right.
But for 2 hours in this wrestling match, I know exactly who that is.
It's so fulfilling. I mean, I imagine someone's like the same like for a comedian. Like you get to know immediately if what you're doing is working. Yeah. And there's something very creatively, music too. Obviously they're all different, but like wrestling, I think mainly it's because it was a boyhood dream. I get to do it. I've gotten to do it at a pretty cool level, and getting to experience that I look forward to it. And I know also my days are numbered.
Sure.
It's just a matter of when, but like, so I'm enjoying that journey. I have no destination with wrestling. I've already hit my destination, one match. And that was.
Have you got to do it in Mexico?
No, that would be cool.
Cool.
I would love to do it in Japan. I would love that. I don't think that'll ever happen. But again,
I always forget about the wrestling legacy in Japan.
Oh, dude, it's right on the same level as Mexico.
Yeah,
but crazier things have happened. I never thought I'd be.
You never know.
And I got to wrestle for AEW, which is like the second biggest wrestling company on TV.
Yeah.
At 40 something years old, like 47 or 48 years old, when I should not be doing that.
Well, and like, here's the really cool part of that, right? Like, I stay in the gym.
Yeah.
right? And this gives you a fucking really good why as to fucking push yourself.
Yeah, because that spandex doesn't lie.
No, it doesn't.
I know we're the singlet, I got still body, I still have I never knew what body dysmorphia was when people would say
It's the worst.
I didn't believe it. I was like, what are you talking about? There's mirrors.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
It's crazy.
I don't see some people say
spandex doesn't lie, but it also doesn't withhold anything.
Yeah.
So it,
It tells the truth for sure.
it tells all the story.
Well, I know for you guys too, you spend that time in the gym and you don't see that progress. Maybe one day you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
But it's fleeting.
Yeah. And then you're
no.
back to I'm a fucking lump of mashed potatoes.
Dude, which is just because I had a piece of pizza 3 days ago, right? Right. No, it's crazy because it's I was 160 until I was like 35.
Yep.
165 maybe.
Yeah.
And then it took me about 9 years to get over 200 pounds.
Yep.
And then
Then it's all.
now I can't get under 200 pounds.
Yeah,
to
it's
save my
hard.
fucking life.
Yeah.
But, and then I got to 230 was my max, but that was like Christmas hamster bulk.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Christmas
Well, dude, I'm on the phone with my wife sitting at my desk and I'm like, she's like, are you walking up a hill? And I'm like, no, bro. I sound like fucking Biggie Smalls and
So
shit.
am I talking to Darth Vader right now?
Yeah, I was like, fuck. But that's the thing. I will always in my head be that skinny kid, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't go away.
There's the beauty of anxiety, right?
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. It will lie to you, and it'll give you all the reasons to believe that lie.
Yeah.
I
Every one
deal
of
with
them.
it. I know.
Every one of them.
Dude, I honestly had to stop. I was getting to that point where I'm doing workouts, do the treadmill stuff, and I was like, hell bent, I need to lose this gut. And then at night, when my wife was giving our daughter a bath, I'd go downstairs to our treadmill, and I would just walk for a half hour, and I'm like, I had to finally hit that point. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm teetering on that side of going with some serious issues.
Yeah. This is almost a fucking eating disorder.
Yeah, and I was like, I need to nip this in the bud because I'm also I should be upstairs or I should at least be doing something that's
Present.
more productive.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm hyper focusing on these calories.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still I battle that. I ain't gonna lie, but it's hard.
It is
It's
hard.
hard, man. It's hard with how you view yourself, and then also then you put yourself now in a position where I'm performing in front of people, and I love it when they make fun of me for being bald because I'm at peace with that.
Yeah.
But if somebody started goofing on me because of one kid yelled at me, it's you're fat, and I'm like, son of a bitch, right. But that kind of shit's still hard.
It's rough, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we're our toughest critic, right? That shit is body dysmorphia. I just didn't understand it.
I didn't eat. Yeah.
I just was like, whatever. No, it's real shit, right?
Yeah, oh, you're just making shit up.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh my God, I need
You
to
want me to tell
apologize.
you look good? You look good. All right? Right.
Right.
You look so good.
Yeah, it's crazy. I would love to know how that works with your brain.
It's
that you can
fucking
see something
weird.
that no one else sees.
What do you think makes heels so loved by people?
I think the ability to feel good, you could boo them. I think sometimes maybe also, I don't know. I think everyone does love the bad guy. At least growing up, kind of the villains in movies.
Yeah.
And I think that we know that these aren't really bad people. And the beauty is most of the bad guys in wrestling are the nicest dudes in real life.
For sure.
And in a sense, I think I always joke about, I get all that negative energy out being a bad guy. It's cathartic. I get to if I'm having a crappy day, here's a situation where I could actually encourage people saying mean things that my mind is already saying to me. But when they say it, I'm I'm accomplishing my goal. I don't know. It sounds dumb.
No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
And it disarms it, right? You hear it, there's something to be said for, exposure therapy.
And I think a good bad guy, I always joke, I taught this to younger wrestlers. I'm you have to be okay with having those pie in the face moments. You have to accept that at times. I don't ever want to be there's comedy wrestlers, and I have nothing but love and respect for any type of wrestler. Anyone who's willing to put their body on the line, I have nothing but respect for. But
right.
I have comedic moments in my matches, with the kids or whatever.
Right, yeah.
But it's never fully mapped out comedy spots. I don't want to be a comedy wrestler.
You don't want to be a bit guy.
Right. I want still people to kind of think I'm trying to win this fight and I'm not cracking jokes. But if in the middle of the moment, levity, kind of like I was talking about with storytelling, like in just radio, like at times, okay, like there's gonna be a moment where these kids are saying mean things to me.
Right.
I'm gonna yell back at them, but I'm gonna have it be funny. Or if someone
Yeah.
like in the crowd, one of my favorite moments ever in the wrestling ring had nothing to do with a move. It was the crowd at one place at SOS Pro Wrestling in Tacoma. They just chant "fuck Steve Migs" the entire time. They've got "fuck Steve Migs." So I'm on the promo. I can't even speak, and they have signs that say "fuck Steve Migs." And finally, I hit this point where I'm like, I don't know what my brain just said, do it. And I was like, I know you all want to fuck me, but the only person fucking me is my wife. And all of you here are too ugly for me to ever think about straying on her or some shit like that. And the whole place was just like, boom. But like you could tell, like some people are like,
You made a pause for a second.
very chivalrous in this some way possible. Like you're extolling your love for your wife.
Yeah.
And you're saying you're not going to cheat on her.
I mean, I'm confused.
Somehow
Yeah.
dumbed on to fidelity.
One time, someone would yell in the middle of the match, like, "You have a face for radio," and I don't know why, out of nowhere. And I won't show this one to my wife because she would kill me because it's such a dumb thing to say. And she's not like a person that likes bad words. But I was like, "Oh yeah, well I have a face. No, I have a face for your mom's vagina." And the whole place is just like, "What?" Then I hit the opponent with a move, like a big tackle. And I turn back around to the crowd and look at him. I go, point at him. I go, ah.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're like, when are you going to grow up, Steve? Mom's right. Doing vagina jokes.
Yeah.
Wrestling match. But I love that kind of shit.
Yeah,
That's
for sure,
right.
man.
That's the beauty. Like, I think with comics, like, I think our favorite moments are when they have moments with a heckler.
Yeah.
You know, because like,
Oh,
they're like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
this wasn't planned. Maybe they were, but more often than not, like, this wasn't planned.
Yeah.
He had to be naturally funny right there.
Yep.
That wasn't a written out bit.
Yeah.
And then in wrestling, it's like, oh, he had to be quick on his feet because
Yeah.
that wasn't planned.
Yeah.
You know, I think those kind of moments, that's when the crowd really connects with you.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's
Yeah.
really funny. One of the, like, Damon has said a lot of profound things in the time that I've known him, but one of the things that always,
I agree. Dude, Damon,
yeah,
legit.
he's got these
Like,
weird, like, he's a sphinx.
Day
dude,
one,
right?
like,
he
I'm
just-
like, yeah.
and then says something profound.
I just catch him flying through the air. You know, that's all.
Like from day one, I remember talking to Damon, I'm like, I like just talking to them.
Yeah, you're like, don't say something stupid.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm now at the point, I think, in our friendship where I can say,
I just say
that's where you're like, oh, I can say something stupid and he won't dislike me.
Yeah,
I'll love it. Yeah. I'll love it even more. Yeah.
That's when our friendship got better.
That's right. That's
He
right.
said to me this one time, he said, he goes, you ever watch, we were in the car, he's like, you ever watch a movie and you find yourself not rooting for the guy that you originally rooted for when you first watched the movie? Like, and it's typically the gangster guy that you were rooting for when you first saw it.
Oh,
But the
yeah.
older I get, the more I'm rooting for like the normal guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's true, dog. Like,
Yeah.
going off what you said earlier,
Uh-huh.
right? Like, the older we get, we're like, you know, maybe Robert De Niro was right. And
Yeah.
and
Well, it's like when you're young, you like Joe Pesci in Casino.
right.
And then later you like him in that, what was that 3-hour long movie that came out recently where he's the older guy?
The Irishman was
The
it?
Irishman. Yeah. When you're older, you like Joe Pesci in The Irishman because he's more like, let me solve this, you know?
Yeah.
I know sometimes
You know,
you'll see a character
very-
that you hated when you were a kid. Like I think
Yeah.
about everything goes back to Rocky for me. I just fucking love
Yeah.
those movies. But Rocky 3,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Oh, dude.
Mr. T,
Clubber
like,
Lang?
the older you get, you're like, man, the dude's just trying to fucking put food on the table and
Yeah.
like, just trying to prove everybody that has been downing him. That I mean, great, yeah, he did kill like Mickey. That wasn't cool. Right. He
There's
just
a
yelling at him.
reason. I mean,
Yeah.
I can understand how he got to killing Mickey.
And,
right?
and Rocky success got to his head. Like the whole thing is like, but as a kid, I'm
Yeah.
like, no, Rocky's the best thing in the world.
How dare you?
Right?
Yeah.
Baby face.
Rocky 4
Yeah.
was, so when I was young, there was a couple, my first cathartic, tragic moments in movies,
Okay.
in the movie theater, was when Optimus Prime died in the Transformers cartoon. Fucked me up, dude. I remember looking at my mom crying, and I was like, I want to leave. Right? And she's like,
Transformers are people too.
well, dude, like, but
more than
all, but bro, like in the first 20 minutes of that movie, half of my fucking heroes got killed
Yeah.
and Optimus Prime.
Wow.
I was like, I want to go. She was like, no, we're staying. And then I cried and cried and cried, went home, slept like a baby. Right? Right? Catharsis. But
It was preparing you for Game of Thrones later.
no, what
Yeah.
what it was preparing me for was a couple months later, watching Apollo Creed get killed.
Oh, dude.
In the fucking ring.
Yeah.
With the towel, everything about
Oh my God.
right?
Right? Dude, how, like it made me want to go run in the snow with an ox yoke on.
With an ox yoke.
Dude, fucking
workout scene.
sit-ups on
Gosh.
fucking balcony in a barn. And
then they end the Cold War. I mean, it's crazy, right?
Rocky ended the Cold War. First of all, right? Like everybody thinks it was Gorbachev, but it was not.
Right,
Like,
Right, Drago and Rocky.
dude.
Brigitte Nielsen.
Okay, but
Oh my God. Yeah.
But I will say this. As an adult, I've watched the movie a million times, but as an adult, I watched it like 3 or 4 years ago. And there's a part where Ivan Drago, he's like, I must break you, or right?
Right.
And I realized for the first time, he's not saying that because he wants to. He's like, I got no other fucking choice.
The country wants me to.
Like I have to do
Oh,
this.
yeah,
Like, this
yeah.
is all I got, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
this isn't my choice, homie.
Crazy ass wife.
Yeah.
The entire country. that wants
And
me
they're gonna
kill
murder
you.
me if I don't
Yeah.
do this, right?
Yeah.
They're pumping me full of horse drugs
Yeah.
to murder you, right?
Jeez, yeah.
Right. So from that perspective, it was like, fuck, it fucked
It's
me up a little
weird.
bit.
Well, it's weird watching things like that with a more comprehensive worldview.
Yeah.
Where you really understand a little bit more about some of these other cultures.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this guy's, we thought Brooklyn was hard, but this
Yeah.
guy comes from someplace that's even harder.
It's
It's a
tragic.
whole different level.
Yeah.
whole
Totally.
different level, man.
So
yeah.
I implore anybody, next time you watch Rocky IV, have that in your brain and you'll be like, all of a sudden you get this
Yeah.
weird sympathy for him. You're just like,
Yeah.
fuck.
And then you get that "What are we doing" moment with the robot. But
Yeah.
I still love it. Don't get me wrong. It's like the Ewok for Rocky.
Yeah. Okay. They needed somebody to, what's
It's the levity.
it's levity.
Oh
What's-
yeah, everyone needs a Flavor Flav, bro.
What's his brother-in-law's name?
Yeah.
Paulie.
Paulie. They needed a fucking straight man for Paulie.
Yeah.
And the great, but every once in a while things get dark with Paulie.
Yeah.
Like, especially like it was the first or the second movie where you're just like, oh shit, he's
Paulie's a drunk.
He's
Yeah.
his sister up.
Yeah.
Like that's everyone, like people who don't watch Rocky are just like, oh, it's some goofy movie about boxing with a guy with a
No.
silly voice. It's like, dude, like I promise you.
I promise.
What do you think about the upcoming movie about the making of Rocky?
I thought it was kind of hokey when I first heard it, but then I watched the trailer and I'm like, in.
Yeah.
Because what a cool.
Yeah, I kind of I'm kind of crossing that same threshold with it myself.
Yeah, I'm there too.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to do a good job.
He sounds great.
Yeah.
He looks the part, and like it just looks like the story itself is going to be fast. I mean, as a Rocky nerd, I want more Rocky's information. I'll listen to Rocky podcasts.
Right.
It's like the band Kiss.
Yeah.
I used to listen to a podcast where they just spent 40 minutes talking about one song of Kisses and breaking it down, and I was like get excited when a new episode popped up.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm that fucking nerd about all music. There's the podcast that Spotify either picked up or put out, and it's like one song. I don't know if
Yep.
you've got a chance to catch it, but it's great.
So if there was one band that you would want to listen to a podcast of just where they broke down one, like for me, it was that Kiss one, or Faith No More would be a one if
Right.
I had to give an example.
Yeah,
but what would be a band for you?
Fuck. It would be probably Joy Division or Portishead.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
Portishead, I don't have my only knowledge is from when I worked at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Massive Attack, Portishead,
Yeah,
like
sure.
Right.
weird, interesting sounding band.
like my dad and mom were like proto hipsters.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like my dad's always been super into music, right? And I don't mean like hipsters that
Right.
start a restaurant that have two words in it, like lion and walrus,
Right.
or like walrus and pocket knife, or like
Right.
mustache and fucking razor blade,
Right.
or whatever the fuck.
Lunch meat.
right, right,
What does that mean?
right,
Just means
right.
expensive.
Yeah. That's what it means. It means get your wallet
Right.
out. Yeah.
Apricots and assholes, or whatever the fuck, right? But I'm talking about like the ones from the 80s, the edgy beginning of that whole thing. And I grew up in my household, like Joy Division was playing. So I've been familiar with it since I was a little kid.
Yep.
And I've always liked it.
Yeah.
I've had multiple times in my life where I've come to it. And I understand it's always been like the band's band, right? And like it really broke open in the early 2000s, and everybody, it was like,
I felt like a lot of people were covering their music, which then led people to discover, myself included.
Yeah.
Like there was like a Dave Navarro project where I think
Yeah.
Day of the Lords was it?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a crazy ass song. And then I listened to the original. I'm like, this is even darker.
it's dark shit.
So was your mind blown then when you first heard like New Order? Because it's such a massive
So
change.
you want to hear something wild? Like I don't like New Order
No.
at all.
Yeah.
Like there's like I like the hits.
Yeah.
Like I like whatever. Like they've worn me
They've
down.
had a couple. Yeah,
they've worn me down over time, and being in bars where they're playing like fucking Bizarre Love Triangle or like fucking Blue Monday or whatever the fuck, right? Like, but I just first of all, I think that the name New Order is the shittiest thing ever, right? Like it's kind of a shitty move. Your lead singer commits suicide and the rest of you guys go and start a band named New Order, right? Like it's kind of a fuckhead move, right? But on their part,
What were they called before that?
Joy Division.
Oh,
All of New Order.
Okay.
All of New Order.
I was outside of the joke for a while there.
Yeah,
yeah. Which I'm comfortable with.
Welcome
back. I spent a lot of my life that way.
Yeah. So leads real short. On the eve of their first American tour,
Yeah.
the lead singer of Joy Division hung himself.
Wow.
And they were going to be the New Order. They would have been New Order.
Yep.
Like Joy Division.
There's a lot of buzz.
There was a lot of buzz, and they had hit something with the fuck is that last song? Love Will Tear Us Apart.
Yep.
Right. And I've said this before.
It's like the quintessential 80s
sound.
It
it is literally what 40%. If you like 40% of music since Joy Division,
yeah.
you like Joy Division.
Right.
Right. Like there's so many derivatives, like the New Romantic, all of that second British New Wave, all of that shit was informed by them. Like, you know what I mean?
Cure,
totally.
Yeah,
All those guys. All the stuff you like, that was their band, right? That they were emulating and shit. And so like, it's always been omnipresent.
Well, and Joy Division sure did make a good shirt.
They did.
Like everybody really loves that
That
shirt.
might be like the second. I think Ramone's probably the most parodied shirt.
Yeah.
And I think Joy Division might be a distant second, but still.
It's still in the running, right? It's in the
It's
combo.
like that. It's like that old Black Flag joke. It's like because everybody has the Black Flag. Millions of people have that Black Flag tattoo, and we know only like 50 of them are in the band. You know.
Or Misfits too.
Oh yeah, Misfits.
What would it be for you?
Yeah.
Like, do you have a band that like you would listen to like a podcast of like?
I would. Man, it's probably got to be Parliament Funkadelic.
Really?
Oh, sick.
I would call Iron Maiden.
Well, no, I mean, there's a bunch of them.
I haven't listened to Iron Maiden before Bruce Dickinson ever. Like I did not know that. Like
Paul Di'Anno. Yeah,
my God, it's like finding a new band. Like, the gym the other day, like
rest in peace.
Running Free. I didn't realize was an Iron Maiden. Like, you know how like you just like for some reason just had blinders on. And I'm like, oh my God, like that's an Iron Maiden song.
Yeah, it's like a rougher, more soulful kind of,
It's a little less heavy metal.
Yeah. But the thing about Parliament, man, is Parliament had a mix of like this heavy, like a pro-black message that was inside of music so funky that you didn't have to give a fuck about the message. And I would love to really hear their own deep thoughts about like
what were they thinking?
That would be super interesting.
Well, and Clinton is kind of an interesting dude.
Yeah.
He's literally helped produce some of the best.
Yeah.
Not just samples.
Yeah.
Okay. If you excuse if you just go, hey, entire sample catalog from Parliament or George Clinton,
right? You're welcome.
You go over here for a while.
You like Paul's Boutique?
Yeah.
You should probably listen to Parliament.
Yeah, no doubt. Right. Yeah.
You like Dr. Dre's The Chronic?
Yeah.
You should probably listen to Parliament.
Yeah.
Right? And Donny Hathaway.
Yeah.
But he produced a bunch of albums, like the Chili Peppers.
Chili Peppers.
Yeah. Like
I didn't know that until fairly recently.
Did you get that Netflix doc on Hello?
Yeah.
Like they spent so much time talking about George Clinton's effect on them.
Yeah.
I mean, he really did shape that band.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, totally. Yeah, man. Parliament I would tune into that as well.
Yeah.
Like, or Marvin Gaye.
Plus, Parliament made some songs that were really rocking too, you know?
Yeah. Damon turned me on to one recently. I guess I'd heard the rock side of Parliament, but it was more the Maggot Brain.
Yeah.
Funkadelic, right? Which Maggot Brain, the song, has some of the best guitar work I've ever fucking heard.
Yeah.
I find myself especially now, I'll find going deep dives of funk music and then even disco.
Oh,
yeah.
I never gave it the credit it deserved as a kid, because it's just I'll just sit there. I'm like, what was it like to be an engineer in that room when they recorded this shit? And then you listen to the lyrics. I'm like, man, all these motherfuckers are singing about is just being comfortable in their own skin and body, not life positivity.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and how much shit they had to deal with. I'm like, there's a deeper level of the disco than just
There's a massively deeper.
Well, you know what's funny is like the socioeconomic political situation they were expressing from was very similar to what we're in right now.
Yeah.
You know, it was a left hates right. It was there was oil problems and wars. There was all the things that we're dealing with again now.
and all set to like really when you zone in on like the musicianship, you're like, Jesus Christ.
Okay, so
Amazing musicianship.
Incredible. This isn't like keyboards. Like this is a full orchestra, basically.
It was an era in time where real musicians, classically trained and fully expressed, were meeting up with a new level of cocaine and production.
And production.
And maybe some of that tweaking out in the studio had to do with that fucking the snowstorm.
Maybe.
But there was a heavy production being put in, but it was meeting up with that fully expressed talent.
And then what a mind fuck though, then like you do all that, you spend all that time, you create something that's over the top insane, and then everyone shits on it.
Well,
and treats it like as if it's like bubblegum bullshit.
Yeah.
And we've all been guilty of it as kids. Like, disco.
I probably had a Disco Sucks t-shirt at some point, you know.
If we're going to talk about disco, we do need to shout out the man himself, Nile Rodgers. Nile some of the fucking best music that's come out since.
Yeah.
Nile Rodgers has been on.
Yeah.
Like David Bowie's Let's Dance album, he produced that fucking thing.
Which that was the first concert I went to.
Which was
the David Bowie Serious Moonlight Tour.
Yeah.
I had no idea how cool that was going to be 2 years later.
Right.
That's insane.
Yeah. It was fucking amazing.
So shout out to Nile Rodgers. Also, shout out to disco for giving us hip hop.
Yeah.
Right? Like giving us rap music. Like, God.
And rave music.
And rave music.
Yep.
Yeah. Frankie Knuckles.
1000%.
Yeah.
Gave us house music for Frankie Knuckles. Shout out to the underrated part of this, though, which is, you know, the gay culture.
Yeah.
Thank God for the, you know, the gay culture allowed us into their space in that, right?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
And then we did, you know, like I mean, the business fucking co-opted it, and that's what ruined it eventually. It was about that.
That's why I love listening. Like I'll go on like Apple Music. I'll just go like disco deep cuts, and then those are the songs where you're just like, man, like this poor dude's just trying to live his best life.
Yeah,
and he's singing about it, and it's just like very eye opening. Like what a time capsule of that person's world, where it's like it was such an evil thing to be a gay person, and he's singing about why it's
being free.
Right. And
that's
I'm like, man,
being in love.
I just wish people would actually pay attention to what they were saying.
Well, it's the kind of
what are we? Well, how dare this person just ask to just be able to live a good life?
It's crazy.
And not be judged for anything. Like,
it's fucking insane.
There's something about being put through the ringer that brings out a level of expressive joy where you need to express that joy to escape the oppression you're in, you know, and that's why that's part of why I think the gay culture really put out so much amazing disco
and house music.
It's why
shout out to
it's why Jamaicans made the whole world feel their brand of music. It's why it's why hip hop was born in the Bronx. Yeah, you know,
absolutely.
I mean, because the Bronx was a fucking demilitarized zone in the late 70s and early 80s.
Yeah,
but they created but that pressure created that diamond of music that continues even in its current form, which is weird to me. But it still lives on. You know?
What was it? Chuck D said, "Rap music's black people CNN."
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up like, you know, like listening to KRS-One.
Yeah, totally.
WA, and like here's this little white dude in Brooklyn, like trying to like learn more. I mean, granted, I was fortunate enough to live in a melting pot of a lot of people, so that helped.
Yeah.
Right.
But also, like, there were certain things that I would learn just from listening and paying attention to the lyrics, which I'm not even a lyrics guy, but rap, it kind of forces you to pay attention to the lyrics.
That's very lyrics heavy.
Right.
Yeah.
And how aggressively the words were being said. And you're just like, shit, okay, this is not my world. Like, this is crazy.
Right.
Yeah. If you ever, you probably already do, but my favorite producer in the disco realm is Giorgio Moroder.
Mm-hmm.
I love Moroder. If you've never actually listened to his old catalog, he did a song 10 years ago with Daft Punk called Moroder, but he was
Was there ever a Marauders?
I don't know. There should have been.
Sorry.
Metal offshoot.
Beavis and Butthead jumped into my head.
You got it. Right. Yeah. But he produced and helped write all of Donna Summer's early shit. All of, like, just go down or Georgia Marauder. I'll send it to you on Instagram.
Okay, please.
Yeah, go down it. It's completely worth listening to. He's been sampled a lot too. Like he was sampled on DJ Shadow sampled him a bunch, but like just a bunch of people.
Donna Summers was the first girl that was my girlfriend.
I thought Sade was mine, dude.
Dude, I remember getting that album and like having on the vinyl, my uncle had it, and I was like, I am feeling things that I never felt before.
Sade's voice, bro, it's just so sultry. And
which brings us into our next segue.
we love a good. Every once in a while, we get a smoothish segue.
So one of the things that pissed off the internet the most at Damon and I, and it wasn't even. I'm gonna be very clear. It wasn't even Damon's hill. He wasn't even dying on it.
Oh, so, no. Yeah. Sure anybody can have that hill,
You got torn down for my hill. But I made a clip because I had said, we were talking about Seattle bands. And I said, no real Seattle person's favorite Seattle band is Nirvana. Right? And I got told a lot about myself. Right? People told me quite a bit about myself. They called me all kinds of colorful language.
Okay.
Yeah.
How dare you not like what they like?
Yeah. My question to you is, I mean, if anybody has gone local, right?
Right.
You.
Yeah.
Right? Who is your favorite Seattle band?
Oof.
And is it Nirvana?
It's not Nirvana. Nirvana's definitely a top 5.
Yeah, I mean, because there's only 6.
Now, this is how you do this. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's that easy.
I mean, it depends on the day you ask me. Like, I mean, I'm wearing a Murder City Devil shirt.
Okay, but the reason I'm asking you, right? I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm asking you because you're one of our most famous rock personalities in the fucking city.
Right.
All right. So check it out, motherfucker. Yeah. That's Steve Migs from
now I have the hate to this clickbait bullshit. This now we're what you had me on. Just to say, confirm that Nirvana is not the best Seattle band. And then I would go Pearl Jam before Nirvana.
You can reach him at Steve Migs at KISW.com.
I mean, there was probably a time where Nirvana was my number one.
Sure.
It's kind of like when I always like into Metallica records. Like I can't pick my favorite Metallica record. I'm gonna just rotate the first 4.
Sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have a favorite one, but I have a favorite neighborhood.
Yeah,
and it's definitely the first 4. Yeah,
neighborhood.
Honestly, it's one of the
neighborhood.
And Justice for All definitely has a sweet spot. That will always be in the mix, but it'll never be number 1.
Well, and I'll tell you,
kind of like Nirvana.
And this is a fucking rough take, probably, but
rough take.
You guys ready for a rough take? I've revisited the Black Album. And I know it's the mainstream piece of shit that was the swan song.
Yeah.
But there's some bangers on that.
Oh my gosh,
Wherever I May Roam is a fucking banger, dude. Like that is a banger.
Unforgiven is a great fucking song.
Oh, dude.
But yo, those are like old man rock, though.
Oh yeah,
I mean, because this Damon likes that album,
right?
But I mean, I remember like in 84, 85, 87, like we were listening to Metallica and we had no idea they were gonna cover like Bob Dylan or whatever the fuck they covered.
It was
you know
Bob
what I mean?
Seger,
whatever. There's a Bob,
monster.
Bob
Seger is the most soulful white man ever. You'll put some respect on him and the Silver Bullet.
We had no idea they were going to cover any of that shit, all right? Like, they were just the heaviest, thrashinest, craziest.
What was that, dude? That was their night moves.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh, yeah, brother. Now you're making the savage hot. Yeah.
That's the cream of the crop. Must be like listen like Reload. I'm like, young Steve never would listen to Be Fire and be like, that was good. But now I'm like,
whiskey in the jar? What? They're not even Irish.
Now I'm like, turn it up.
You're like, wow, this is really soulful, man. Yeah.
Okay, so
they've aged like fine wine.
Napster bad.
There we go.
Napster commercials that were like, on like E-bombs were,
Yeah, totally.
where it's like that big oaf of James Hetfield. And
yeah, Napster bad. Napster bad.
I don't know. Maybe they're on YouTube. I don't think
They
I've
are.
ever.
They're
Okay, I'll have
hilarious.
to look them up.
I was showing my daughter.
They're so good.
I will look them up. Yeah.
In a minute. I did just, yeah.
Donut. He's got the fucking donut with the teeth, like little tiny teeth bite, and he's got a massive mouth.
How, like, everyone just shit on them, and they're like, we just don't want our music being illegally taken from us. Like, I mean, like,
Yeah, fuck them still. Like,
how dare they want to get paid for
nobody
their
cared
art?
about that. Everybody, I think, felt sympathetic somewhat about their music getting taken illegally. The fact that they nominated the weasel fuck in the group to do the
Yeah,
talking for them.
yeah.
Lars was like, dude, seriously. Okay, old Metallica, here's exactly what you're talking about, Damon. Old Metallica. Here's our tape. No Life to Leather. Copy it. Give it to all your friends.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That era Metallica, Napster bad, right?
Yeah.
And Lars was like just whiny.
Yeah.
Right? He's
Yeah.
just a weasel. Like nobody likes it.
You know,
We
every
don't want you-
message.
You don't need to be the voice of the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every message is dependent upon the messenger to some degree or another. You know, they say don't shoot the messenger so often because it's a thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
Solid point.
Yeah.
Totally. And I want to shoot the messenger on that one.
Because you might want to shoot him.
I always love pissing off my drummer friends when they talk about like favorite drummers, and I'll bring up Lars as one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
And they go, like, you could just see like the steam, and then I'll be like Meg White too, and then it'll be like, and I'm not doing it to be funny or ironic.
No,
I'm like, they are so uniquely different, obviously, but like you know their drum parts. Like you could put Dave Lombardo, who's a great drummer, with Metallica, and I get the time and the tempo would be better.
Yeah.
But he ain't writing drum parts that Lars Ulrich wrote. Like Lars wrote some really fucking cool, odd time signature moments during a normal thrash
Because he
metal
couldn't
song.
keep proper time.
Fair, yes. And then Meg White, like it's the epitome of serving the song.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had anyone doing anything busier on a White Stripes record, it would not be as
If you
good.
had somebody actually playing the bass.
If you're Matt Cameron,
Yeah, totally.
like yeah, he's gonna be a better performer.
Sure.
But like what made the White Stripes great is that she just let things breathe so that Jack White can just go off.
Which is what we needed at the time. We needed a blues infusion.
Yeah.
Okay, while we're on like hot takes with music, like
Oh, we're gonna get into it. Yeah.
oh shit, man. So I have this thing where I'm like, I like to fuck around with it. I don't know if I totally believe it, but in some regards, I'm like, is Insane Clown Posse like this generation's punk rock? Like you know, and I would start saying that shit to people, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's fucking juggalos." You know, they're unwashed and they have no jobs. I'm like, 70s punk rock. I'm like, you know,
but they will let you fuck them in a porta potty. So there's that.
that's pretty fucking punk rock.
It is funny when like he's like, I remember like one point I was jokingly being like, oh, juggalos are cool, whatever, 'cause it's like such a thing. And then I started like paying more attention to like and meeting people that were juggalos. I'm like, actually, the joke is not a joke. There are some really good. It's just a community.
There's dorks.
Yeah.
Like, they're no different than like me being a dork about wrestling or a dork about
100%.
thrash metal.
100%.
At this point, I feel like their community has evolved so much that it's not as much of a hot take as when you would say that to people like 15 years ago.
And now they've got their
You
own
know.
wrestling promotion too.
Well, I mean, that's a good fit, you know?
You know what's crazy right now? Going back now, there's a thing in wrestling, and I've done a few, and they're my favorite thing to do is raves that have wrestling matches.
What?
Oh,
the fuck?
wow.
That's
So
right
shout-
up his alley.
Yeah, so
I'm into it, yeah.
There's one coming. There's a EDM artist that's coming to the Showbox that I'm going to be wrestling at in November.
Oh, shit.
But there's a company called Cult Fester based out of San Francisco. Now they travel.
I wanna
And so,
go.
dude. When Cult Fest brings theirs, I mean, the one in Showbox is gonna be awesome too. Don't get me wrong, but it's fucking crazy.
Let us know.
I will. I
Yeah,
will. I want you
yeah.
guys to come because it's bonkers. Like so,
Yeah.
they have the ring set up, then they have the DJ right behind you, and they're playing, and then like the wrestlers for the most part, like I grew up in that world too.
Yeah.
and so like I'm like listening to the beats, and we're like hitting to the beats.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
but
cool.
The crowd, you know, a rave crowd.
Yeah.
They're
They're
having
like,
a good.
Plur.
They're having a great
Smash
time.
his face.
The moment they see one big move, they're just like, oh my God, what is happening? It feels like they're in like this futuristic movie with this great soundtrack, and we're fighting.
yeah.
Some dystopic cyberpunk.
dude,
Yeah.
Insane. So one time, I'm in wrestling, like you're down.
You
like,
almost
look to the
expect
crowd.
John Wick to come out or
Yes.
something. Like,
Bro.
yeah.
If that was in Blade Runner,
Yeah.
I would.
I
Like
would be a bait. I would have the Blade Runner shirt on right now.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it's the best. At one point, I like in the match, I'm getting beat up, and I reach out to the crowd, like, help me, like we doing a wrestling match.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then all these hands start actually trying to help me and grab me. And then I get thrown out of the ring and I'm on the ground and I'm like, what the hell, who's touching me right now? And it's like these 3 ravers are giving me a back rub. Like, you okay? You okay? I'm like, I'm fine.
You're all like, I think I just soaked up some Molly in my shoulder.
I was like, I feel never better. Like, I'm Mark, I'm Sally. And like, I'm like, what is happening?
Right there, what he's describing is what blade running should actually be.
Yeah.
Wrestling in a rave.
I would only, if I could, I would only wrestle at raves. It's so much fun. It was like the melding of 2 of my favorite worlds.
That's
great.
Yeah.
It's like my young Steve would lose it. Well, young Steve would lose a shit about the wrestling. Then teen to like early 20s, Steve would lose a shit about the rave part.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Incredible.
I feel like NAF Studios would still be around.
Oh my gosh, right? Could you imagine a wrestling ring there?
That would have been unhinged, bro. That would have been fucking awesome.
Early days, like the back in the day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'd be wrestling. I'd probably not be in the right mind state to even have a conversation. I'd be humping the turnbuckle.
Well, you'd have to stand in line because there'd be a lot of. You might be humping the person that's humping the person that's humping the terminal.
Right.
Like,
Well, just yelling, brother.
Yeah.
Speaking of venues and Seattle and everything, on Saturday night, there was a toast, and it would have been dope. What you're talking about would have been dope if it was in the Phoenix Underground. And there was a toast on Saturday night to Rick, a.k.a. Jeff Wyatt.
Right.
The Seattle legend that's in the Phoenix Underground passed away.
I heard about that.
So shout out to his daughter.
Yeah.
And everybody was affected by that. And shout out to the Phoenix Underground.
Yeah. I only knew him peripherally, but he was really cool.
Yeah. I never met, but I've read so many incredible heartfelt stories on social media. That's one of the beauties of social media at times. Like, I got to know a little bit of like what an awesome person this Rick was.
Yeah.
I didn't. I only knew. Of course, I knew the Phoenix. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Biohazard and Sepultura.
Could you imagine if Biohazard was playing while you were wrestling in the Phoenix? That's all I'm trying to.
I've got a Biohazard tattoo on my leg. I would lose my shit if that was happening.
Bro, I saw Ice-T at the Phoenix Underground, and it wasn't Body Count. It was Ice-T.
Oh shit!
And in the middle of a song, a fight breaks out right up front, and without missing a beat, to the beat of the music, as if the song was written this way, him and one other person approached the front of the crowd and said, do that shit, do it, while the fight was still happening. And it was the coolest fucking rap shit I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, Ice-T is a cool motherfucker.
I mean,
remember that first time I heard Body Count, and I'm like, what in the fuck is this? Ice-T?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
It was so dope.
Yeah.
It was like Black Sabbath just went hood.
Fucking metal band with fucking Ice-T. It was like.
Oh, he gave so much of us from the black world permission to love that shit openly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was always like, you had to reach out for bands like Bad Brains and Fishbone. And then Ice-T just came out and said, fuck it, listen to what you want.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of cool pictures from him in those early Lollapalooza tours. Like, I guess he hung out a whole lot with Susie from Susie and the Banshees. Ice-T is a big goth fan.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I get it. I like goth girls too.
Well, newsflash, musicians like music.
Yeah. Here
Weird.
Right. Which brings us back. You're still in the hot seat. Who is the best Seattle band?
Oh, yeah, right. We
Not
almost
getting away.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? I'd have to. I mean, I think Pearl Jam's my number one.
Okay.
I mean, push comes to shove. They've hit me in way. I had this conversation actually with someone who worked with the band, and she's just like, her mind was blown hearing me say, she's like, I kind of want to tell the band this story.
Yeah.
When I was a teen, like, you're figuring out like how to have opinions. I mean, I'm not telling you,
right.
I'm not saying a band shaped my opinion,
right.
but a band opened my eyes to learn about things that then shaped my opinion. I remember seeing Eddie Vedder Unplugged, having this moment, then writing Choice on his arm, and then doing all those Rockford choices and learning about things that like maybe I was never having a conversation about. And here's this band that I thought was fucking cool because they had cool songs.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm learning more about like deeper shit. This band, and so I mean, I wouldn't say obviously any band, like not every song is my favorite, but like on the whole, I love all their music.
Yeah.
And like even like lyrically, like there's a song called Present Tense that got me through many dark times. It's basic simple songwriting of it makes much more sense to live in the present tense.
Yeah.
You know, like we dwell on the past so much.
Yeah.
And when you need to hear those things and then you do, how do you not forever stay connected to a band because of that?
Well, they had a knack for taking deep thoughts and crystallizing them into song.
And never giving a shit about what people thought, in a sense. Like, they were just them. And
being willing to fight back against the powers that be.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll tell you, there was a... that Unplugged in particular, there was a lot of cool things about that Unplugged.
Yeah.
But, it's kind of cool that a band could fill, like, somehow Eddie could come in. I know it's a completely different band, but it could come in and fill the shoes left by Andrew.
Oh, and Mother Love Bone might be my number 2.
Do you see what I'm
I
saying?
loved
Like,
Mother Love Bone a lot.
Dude,
man.
that was our first song that we danced to at my wedding was Gentle Groove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even Brad, like the offshoot, The Day Brings.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things, like branches of Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Like,
You know what I mean? Like, for somebody to come in and, like, pull, not, it's the opposite of New Order.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the opposite of what happened in New Order.
Yeah.
I think they did it the right way.
They did it the right way.
You know what I mean? Like, it was still like they were still being true to themselves as musicians.
Yep.
And not completely like, let's just find an Andrew Wood sound alike. And because some of the songs on 10, like you listen to, I'm like, I wonder what those would have been if they were Mother Love Bone songs.
Yeah.
Because you can hear it in the guitar. Like, these are Stone Gozer and Jeff Ament vibes.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, I wonder would it have been better? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it would have been worse. But yeah,
Who fucking knows?
It would have
who
been
cares
different.
at this point? Like, you know, like it's like,
I'll tell you what, there's not a miss on 10.
no. I would even put like same with Metallica, more so the first 2 records by Pearl Jam, but even like Vitalogy, but Verses in 10.
There's not a miss.
What day you hit me up and ask me which one's my favorite, I'll give you a different answer.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you know, those albums are rare.
Well, even thinking like WMA, like they were singing about police brutality to an audience that was not hearing about police brutality.
Right.
And it's like when you hear the story of why he wrote that song, it's like, that is some heavy shit. Like this guy just witnessed it, someone being judged for the color of their skin, and then decided, you know what, I'm going to make this into a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
It's protest music.
and not caring that we're supposed to be like this larger than like this super massively popular rock band. Like, we're going to take chances.
I mean,
they always took chances.
It's like the proper use of your fame.
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes I would have wished though, like that you hear some of their songs, you're like, you're obviously doing everything in your power to not put out a hit. Like, you know what I mean?
totally.
Like,
Right.
like,
Can you just try a little less hard, please?
like, I get it. Like, the fame is overwhelming. I don't know what it would be like. I've never been in that situation.
Right.
But I wonder how many songs that they had written that they're like, that song is going to be way too popular. And I would like to hear them,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, totally.
Right.
What are the songs that didn't make the cut in those first couple of, like, the second record and the third record because they felt that they were...
Yeah, they were over that.
They were like, we don't want to go down that road again. It was too much.
Yeah, they were over that whole.
And I respect it, but I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Get it? Like, it's funny. This is gonna sound like probably a departure from what we're talking about, but the Killers' first 2 albums, dude.
Let's talk about New Order. Remember the band?
Yeah.
The music video was called The Killers.
Yeah,
Isn't that where they got the name?
absolutely. There was
Sam's Town is one of my favorite records. That second album, I mean, the first album was great too, but
the first album blew the doors open.
oh my gosh.
But that Sam's Town album, for them to like lean even further into like the Bruce Springsteen U2, like there's a lot of U2 on that album, right? Like, and I mean like good early U2, right? Like those first 4 or 5 U2 albums.
yeah, not like
I mean,
forcing it on our iPhone YouTube.
which is,
Oh my God,
which is a
that's
running,
the funniest
which is a running
thing.
theme on the show.
Yeah.
We've talked about this at
that's
length.
funny.
Right? No, it's a thing, right? Like, fuck you, U2.
Yeah.
Right? That was my iPod.
Yeah.
That was a bad album and you fucking know it, right?
Yeah, man.
My thing with U2 is like, once they did a Batman song,
Yeah.
they really jumped the shark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, I don't want to hear this anymore. But
I didn't
I'll
know they
never
did a
not say-
Batman song.
they did on I was probably Batman Forever.
I kind of
guessing-
like them for that.
Yeah, well, Prince did a Batman song. So.
But
But Prince is Prince.
But that's
Prince could do a fucking Wiggles song.
That's right. Yeah.
right. Yeah, it was bad.
Okay.
But yeah, those
I
first-
believe you.
The third Killers record, I was like actually angry.
Yeah, I was like, this
like,
is
what I was expecting another
departure from the departure.
What's the next step? Yeah, 'cause I felt like the first album, Hot Fuss, to Sam's Town, like you saw the evolution.
Yeah.
It made sense. And then the third record was just like, you just completely said fuck off to me.
And I got to tell you, I don't know if the album's come out. I'm sure it has, but there was an early release of a Brandon Flowers country song album that came out, that was coming out or whatever. And I listened to it and I was like, fuck, I could have gone my whole life without listening to this, right? like I want to like it so bad.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't know if you caught there about 3 years ago, there was an album that came out that's very much Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska influenced. And there's a song called The West Hills.
I'll
send it to you.
I stopped.
I will send it to you because it's the best song they've made since Sam's Town.
Oh, I'm down to hear it.
Right?
Yeah,
like the rest of the album's okay, but this song, you're like, fuck, this is what they should have done on the next album, and they never got to.
But I mean, that's clearly they're doing what they want. Or we just have, but as a fan,
as a fan, you suck.
Yeah. Fuck off.
I feel like the Killers are one of those bands for me that suffered from that name versus music experience.
Sure.
Where like you,
Yeah.
where like back in the day, you would look for bands that you might like. You're like, oh, Septic Death, or you know, Brutal Evisceration, you know, and you're like, and then you pick one of those, and it's like bloom, 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 bloom,
right?
And you're like, and I think I kind of had that experience with the Killers early on, and like I wanted them to be super heavy, and they weren't what I had in my head, and they're not that, and then I just like. And now I'm here 30 years later or whatever, you know, listening to two friends of mine rave about this band. And I'm like, man, I should listen to them. I think I just had the wrong idea.
Well,
I think that second record you would
that second record is amazing.
Yeah.
It is fucking
It's just to me it's like it's a perfect record from beginning to end. It's one of those. You know, like
rare.
Once it's on, I'm in for the ride.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And it's
Killer's second album.
Yeah.
Done
Jamestown.
on the list.
Jamestown is what it's called.
That's easy to remember.
Yeah. It hit at the right time, like that whole sleazy leg shaker.
Vegas.
See, if someone had just called it sleazy leg shaker, I would have been in from the beginning.
Exactly what it is.
Why didn't someone just say that to
the
me?
Same vein.
Jake Gaiman's just sleazy leg shaker music.
This is music to listen to while high on coke, trying to fuck somebody in a nightclub. Is what it is, right?
Man.
There's a level of pompousness to Brandon Flowers especially on that first record, but even the second one too. But like, it's just like this motherfucker. We talk about like earlier, like delusion. He is believing and succeeding at being the world's biggest rock star.
Okay, so you want to hear something fucking really crazy? This podcast, one song, right, that we were talking about that they have on Spotify.
Yeah.
They cover Mr. Brightside.
Yeah.
Which was not my favorite song on that album.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
But they cover it, and you know that song has been continuously on the charts
It's insane.
since then.
Yeah.
It's
like
never
the
not
biggest
been on
song
the
right
charts.
now. Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's partially because of football in England, right? It's an English pub song.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
And
you
those
mean soccer?
So yeah.
Yeah. Come on,
That
man.
and Seven Nation Army are like
Yeah.
the two most iconic songs of this generation.
It's crazy how big that song is
Nuts.
in like college football arenas all over.
Right.
Wherever there's 100,000 people foaming at the mouth, you know, there's that song.
And talk about that as a simple motherfucking song.
Well,
And a good song.
Oh, I love
and
it.
so-
you know, it's weird to keep hearing it. And I'm like, I'm still not tired of it.
Yeah,
though.
totally.
Yeah.
Well, and it kind of makes you feel stuff.
It
Right?
that's
Both of them do.
as music is
Brightside
supposed
and
to do.
Yeah,
When you're in a room, like at a club or something like that, like sometimes like the emo night thing. Shout out to Danny V. Like he DJs the emo night shows that happen over at Numos, and it's kind of like this generation's '80s night.
Yeah.
And like the moment he puts on like Killers, Mr. Brightside, or Fall Out Boy, Sugar We're Going Down, and like there's something cathartic where you have a whole room of people that can just hold each other and sing every word.
Yeah.
And they didn't even
100%.
know until they started singing it.
Yeah.
They knew every word.
Yeah.
Well, and
It's like nostalgia, but like in the most catchiest way.
Absolutely.
And to kind of bring this around, I'm probably at some point in the next year or so, 6 months, me and Amber, my wife, are going to throw a night where I start DJing again, and it's probably going to be like sleazy leg shaker music, mixed with disco, because they mix really well together. There are a lot of really similar time signatures, and there's a lot of really straightforward, just fucking off time fucking hi hats and weird fucking.
It makes me remember Hot Heat.
Yeah.
They were like Vancouver, I think.
Yeah, totally.
That
Same thing.
Like the Strokes, but on like being more disco based.
Yeah. So it's like
all those bands from that era. I love that
like
shit.
Block
Hive.
Party, fucking the Hives.
Yep.
Which, by the way, Vice had some really good early, like Death from Above, all those guys. Block Party.
Locally, the Lashes. They
The
were
Lashes,
I love
dude,
that
totally.
band.
Yeah, totally, 100%. We're going to do that at some point, but that one song podcast, I'll send that to you too. They tear apart Mr. Brightside, and I guess that literally was the first song that they wrote. The lead singer, Brandon Flowers put an ad in for a guitar player for a band.
Yeah.
And he sent him a tape with, that was the first track on it.
Crazy.
Wow.
And they wrote that song because Brandon Flowers had gone to, I can't remember who it was. It was like Depeche Mode. It was a Depeche Mode concert with his girlfriend, and she'd broken up with him directly after. That's a real life experience. So then he gets this tape, he puts that on there, they fucking send it, and it ends up being the biggest fucking selling album of all time.
It's all downhill from there.
It's all downhill from there.
Jesus Christ.
They just
imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, that's right up there with Eminem walking into Dr. Dre's studio, and Dr. Dre throws on a beat, and Eminem just goes, "Hi, my name is," like
What a cultural fucking moment.
I was working at the end, and they were like, "We're gonna play this artist Eminem," and it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, because it was like, it's hip hop, but it definitely appealed to an alternative rock crowd.
Yeah.
I remember like he played the Showbox.
Yeah.
And he came to our radio station, and I got to interview him
Oh, wow.
when he did the Showbox. And
Yeah, that's
still to
cool.
this day, I have a picture somewhere. It's so funny. But like,
You were like,
do the interview. You guys will appreciate this. So like, I'm just bullshitting with him, and he's great. Like, because I think he was like dealing with going to a lot of alternative rock stations where
he just wanted to be taken serious as a hip.
The overall vibe was, you're a white rapper, and like
Right.
I didn't even, that never even came up in my chat because I was like a fan. Like I really enjoyed the record. when I heard.
Right.
And so we're just talking about it, and like it's going well, and then I look over at the recorder in the studio in the production room. I'm like, I'd never hit record. And we're like 10 minutes in on this interview, and I'm like so new at it. I'm shaking already, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry, but I never hit record. And I thought he was gonna like, could you hear these stories?
Right,
I'm just
right.
being easy with radio.
Yeah, totally.
people. And I understand it. Radio people are douchebags.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me and goes, "That's cool, man. Let's just do it again." And I was like, fuck. And then
Oh,
he does
man.
the Warped Tour. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes when you fuck up, people remember you. It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
fuck.
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So in the interview's
and
fine.
you're honest about it. Like, hey, I fucked up.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And then I remember it was Warped Tour, and he was performing like second stage of the Warped Tour.
Yeah.
And he had, what was the guy that sadly passed away that was part of D12?
Proof.
Yeah.
And so I met him through all that, and he sees me, he's like, "Dude, you're the radio guy." I'm like, "Yeah, hey." He's like, "Come with me, man. Eminem's gonna, he'd love to see you again."
Nice.
Being interviewed by MTV News. Walks off the interview to come over and
my
give me
God.
a hug. He's like, "Hey, man, good to see you again." I'm like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like, this is so crazy.
That's fucking awesome.
Like, it's just suddenly like I'm sure like that. If I ever ran into him again after the massive success, he would not remember. It's so crazy. Like, but at that
You never
moment,
know.
You never know.
maybe in the first couple of years,
Some of those guys too have mutant memories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
it's
you have
funny.
to.
Like a lot of super celebrity guys have all these other like superpowers.
Yeah.
That help but aren't part of what you see.
It was so
you know?
weird though. Yeah. Just to have that moment where you're just
Yeah.
like, this is cool.
That
Like,
is cool,
it's
man.
Like one of my, but I think all because I fucked up the interview.
Oh,
Had I not
absolutely.
done that, I would have just been,
And because of how you handled it, you were just honest the whole time.
I didn't know what else to do.
And what would someone in his shoes want more? Just someone who's just fucking straight up and
Yeah.
honest and isn't coming with some side pitch or
like trying to lay the blame on someone else,
Yeah.
or sneakily record and then just start asking the same
right. They've seen all
think
that.
about doing
No
that?
one likes all
Honestly,
that.
no, I just panicked. It was just, let me just tell.
That's the best thing to
I had
do.
no
Yeah,
idea what else to do.
absolutely. That's completely relatable.
Yeah.
You know?
What was the, I mean, this, we might have just covered it, but what was the interview for you, or whatever, interview, meeting a star, whatever it is, where you were like, this is it. It's not going to ever, like, this is it. I've hit the apex. I'm at the mountaintop.
I think Cornell.
Chris Cornell?
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
Not Jeff Cornell.
Not Jeff. That was always a
Oh,
great
that was
guy.
pretty cool too.
Very
Yeah.
cool. I'm very
yeah.
blessed that I have these tattoos.
Yeah. I got a couple myself. Yeah.
But yeah, Cornell. I mean, just the voice and everything about him, and now knowing he's not with us. But I remember getting
That guy's voice was like really my favorite singer, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
even Audio Slave. I loved Audio Slave.
Yeah,
Like, I love
yeah.
both. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's just incredible, and like being a kid growing up, loving the Seattle grunge scene, and then one day going into a room at Benaroya Hall.
Yeah.
And there's clips of that online now. And like, you could tell I'm nervous, but like, he already has met me a couple times and like was asking me about my tattoos.
Yeah.
And like the interview was like, so it was like, he was so giving.
Because he knew you weren't going to be a creep.
Yeah.
At that point,
Yeah.
it wasn't going to be weird.
Yeah.
It was like an awkward interview, but he's an awkward guy too.
Yeah.
So I
interesting.
think that awkward vibe worked for both of us.
Cool.
But like, it was just a fun time. And then like finishing the interview and walking out and there's Jeff Ament just waiting patiently. And then he goes, "Hey, Steve." And I'm like, what is it? Like, you know, I forget
what
that
am I
I've
doing
done
with
this.
my life?
I've been doing this my whole
I do
life.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Like I've been doing radio for so long that I forget that some of these guys that I idolize
Right.
have now gotten to the point where they're like, we know this guy.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm friends with them or anything like that, but like, you know, when Mike McCready comes in studio, that was a cool moment.
Yeah.
Recently, he came in to do something and he's like, "Oh man, it's so good to see you." And he's asking about my kid and all this. And then he goes, "Yeah, when they said I had to do the radio stuff, I was hoping it was going to be you." And I'm like, fuck off. Like,
Well, and he is such a nice, genuine dude too. Just
Yeah.
really, yeah.
and I had my coworkers be in the room and they got to hear that. Cause like,
Yeah.
it's a story you could tell, but it was cooler. Like they were just like,
That they
knew how important that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hear him say that. And they were geeking out. No different than I would geek out if like, for Taryn, if a member of Rush said that. Or
Right.
Yeah.
for
Right.
Danny, if Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day
Yeah.
said that. Like,
Yeah.
like those are the dudes. And
Yeah.
we grew up idolizing these guys, and to be almost like they view you as a peer because they're normal motherfuckers, and why wouldn't
Yeah,
they? But,
yeah,
like,
right.
We attach like celebrity status to certain people that
Yeah.
don't even want it.
Totally. They're
Yeah.
bigger. They're bigger in our head than than they are in
I'd
their
say
head.
those are probably a couple
Yeah.
of highlights. One time I remember seeing Mike McCready and talking to him, and then like there's a guy who's just standing there, just like listening and smiling and listening to our conversation. And then finally, I'm like talking, and then he introduced himself. "Oh, I'm Ed, by the way." And I'm like, "Nice to meet you, Ed. I'm Steve." And then I kept talking to Mike. And I'm like, "Holy shit, that's Eddie Vedder." And like he was so chill.
Ed.
Like, I didn't even put two and two together that Mike would be with his bandmate, of course. But
Right,
like, you know, I didn't
right,
think
yeah,
this was, like,
yeah.
some random event, and Eddie was just cool with just listening to us talk. There was no ego.
That's
and
dope.
Then it was that. I mean, he's one of my all-time faves. And then for him to
which
be
kind
that-
of like maths out because I mean he spends so much time like being the guy that it's probably enjoyable every once in a while just to listen to a couple people fucking talk.
Be the guy with the guy.
Just,
and no, I mean different obviously, but like what we were going back to earlier, like talking about how like we all like to kind of like at a party, you want to kind of be in the room with like in the corner with maybe one or two people.
Right.
I feel like that's just because he's one of the biggest singers of all time doesn't mean he still isn't that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We've
No,
Sometimes
no,
it's fun just to watch other people fucking have fun and get excited
Hell yeah.
and just
Be a fly on the wall.
people watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
100. I love that shit.
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
totally,
for sure.
yeah.
You said something about like, I don't think we're friends or, not necessarily friends, but has there been anybody that is whatever celebrity, and it doesn't even have to be a celebrity, anybody that you've become friends with, that you've stayed in contact with, that you now consider somebody that you're close to because of this whole thing?
I always had the hardest time with like, but I often sometimes feel like I maybe sabotage those friendships because I don't want to be that person that keeps intruding on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have to say it if you don't want to.
No, like, so in the world of wrestling, like there's a guy, Adam Copeland, Edge,
Yeah.
who's like one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Oddly enough, when Chris Cornell passed away, he was the one, like we got to know each other and he DM'd me. He's like, "Hey man, how are you doing with this Cornell shit?" I'm wrecked."
Oh, yeah.
And we spent the whole night, the night that Chris Cornell died, and then we
Wow.
stayed in touch because of that. It was an odd reason, but like that, and Becky Lynch, who's a wrestler, like she's a big Pearl Jam fan, and somehow I ran into her, and I said, "Hey, if you're ever in Seattle, I know the people that run London Bridge Studios.
Yeah.
If you ever want to see the studio where they recorded 10, I would love that." And
Yeah.
it turned out the next week she was doing a Special Olympics thing, and she hit me up.
Oh, wow.
And then also like her PR person hit me up about getting her Pearl Jam tickets. And I was able to get them, which was by luck. It was like, usually I would not be able to pull that off. And then we stayed in touch. But again, like, I don't know if I would like, I know that they would like refer to me as on a friendly level just because of the conversations that we've had and like, the things that they've done some favors for me and I've done some things for them as well. But like, I always feel weird being like, we're homies, but like I could text them and know that they would text back.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever that means, I don't know.
Right. Your homies. Man.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I ever will text them again because I always feel weird about doing that.
Right.
You know? They never made me feel weird.
Who knows what, as we get older, what the idea of what a friend is especially when you have kids. You know what I mean? Like,
there's people that you see once a year that sometimes you feel closer to than people you see on a regular basis. And there's, it's just, I don't know. Life has a way of deciding who comes together and who doesn't.
I struggle with that a lot. It's like from losing some friends that are no longer with me.
Yeah.
And then also losing some friends. Jealousy.
Yeah.
I don't know which one hurt more, I mean, honestly, because that person's still around and like, you're like, I thought we were homies for like 20 years. And
jealousy is such a painful thing to
between
lose.
us, and you let it get between us.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy.
Also, like then losing friends because of whatever reasons, whether it be overdoses or suicide or whatever it may be.
Our age.
It's
when you
hard,
get to be
man.
our age, it's a thing.
Well, there's more.
It's really fucking annoying.
It gets more and more and more.
It does. It does. It happens way too much.
Yeah.
Well, and now we're getting to the age where occasionally we lose someone because they die of natural causes, and that's
who died because of a heart issue, and he wasn't. It wasn't a health beacon of health.
Right.
He also wasn't unhealthy.
Yeah. Just a normal guy.
Yeah.
Just lost the genetic lotto on that.
Crazy.
One.
Yeah. The whole friend thing is bonkers.
So there's a question that I'm trying on. We're getting to the point where we usually at the end of the show we let people pitch whatever. If you have anything you want to talk about specifically, but there's a new question that I've been workshopping and trying on. So I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
What is one question that you've never been asked in an interview that you've always wanted to be asked in an interview?
We're sure you have something on speed dial for that.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, I love the question. I'm like, what haven't I? I don't know. I really.
It's tough when you spend so much time in these organic kind of conversations that I know that you're kind of good at and known for.
Sure.
And I feel like I've talked about everything in my life. But I mean, like, there's things like, the friend thing is definitely something that comes up. That was interesting. Just even hit that for a second. I wasn't planning on just being like, oh, it sucks to lose friends because of X, Y, and Z. Like, those are.
It's hard.
I mean, those are things that just kind of fuck with your head a lot.
Well, and it's something that can really have you questioning your own self-worth.
The older I've gotten, because of what I do for a living, sometimes people want to lay blame maybe because they haven't gotten something in that industry or lost their job. I've worked with people who sadly have lost their gigs, being because they quit or they were fired. And I've had to come to terms with, in some people's stories, I'm the villain.
Yeah.
And it wrecks me because I've never done anything to ever screw somebody over. I could say that with the utmost amount of confidence. Like, I've never been that person. Like,
right.
I will never, if you're my dude, even if like we're just casuals, I will never do anything intentionally to fuck somebody over. I just don't believe in it.
I've always known you to be very sincere.
And and I wear that. I mean, I have a heart on my sleeve because I'm a dork and I got a tattooed on my
But I get it.
But you know what I mean? Like,
I'm a dork with tattoos.
So deep, man. I got a heart right here on my sleeve, brother. But I believe in that. And like,
you got the stars covered up.
and not intentionally because I don't like the stars. It's just like trying to make sense of things.
Yeah,
it's a thing, dude.
Yeah, I never thought I was going to ever get a sleeve. So when I had random tattoos, then I had to deal the unfortunate hand to a tattoo artist make this all work, even if it doesn't. So I don't really, man, like I think that's been one of life's hardest things is like to know that I'm a villain in somebody's story, and no matter. But I've also come to peace with the fact that I'm not going to do anything in my power to try and change that opinion.
Well, I don't think
it's not my fault.
It's not your shit.
But it sucks thinking that somebody out there believes that I'm the reason why their life is not where they want it to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when I'm just trying to live my best life, man, like this life is a struggle for all of us.
Yeah.
And I always hope that someone knew me well enough to not think that my hope would be to motherfuck them so that my life could be better.
Yeah,
I'd rather my life to be worse if it meant my friends' lives were better.
The downside of knowing so many people is that there's just the multiplicity of opinions are going to reach all the full range.
Yeah.
And
it's easier to blame somebody.
And it is, and it sucks because we know that person could write a different story for themselves,
Yeah.
And we're powerless.
And I'm sure you guys experience that too in your world.
Yeah.
So we're all villains in somebody's story.
The truth of the story is, like, I can completely relate to what you're saying, but if I'm going to be rigorously honest in this, I have been the villain.
Yeah.
In people's stories. I was a shitty person I think I'm probably a little bit harder on myself than most people would be, but
most definitely. Yeah.
But when you do the amount of drugs that me and you have done and lived,
I've been a bad person.
I've
done bad things.
I have the benefit of knowing that if some of those people find me to be the villain, it could be because I was the villain.
Not only could it be, it is. And with me, and it's like I've had people that I've been able to amend the situation with.
Yeah.
Because in my situation, it's the right thing to do to amend the situation. And I've had people completely be wildly forgiving and not even caring.
Yeah. Which is a trip.
Yeah. And I've also had people who I didn't necessarily think that I'd harmed as much as I did.
Right.
Or as much as they thought I did.
Right.
They're holding
tell me to fuck off.
Daggers.
Right. Yeah. And then I've had people, and this is the weirdest thing, I've had people that I did fucking absolutely nothing to take the way I lived personally.
Yeah.
And try to make me the villain in their story. So I can relate to that too.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's complex as fuck.
It's a complex thing, but at the same time, it's like, we can't give over to that, because then we're going to get caught in imposter syndrome and in not believing we should be doing what's right for us and our family and living our best life. Like you said, we need to keep pushing the ball forward, keep the momentum of like showing up, being present, being a good person. That's all I can really do.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no frictionless environment except for deep space where it's 400 below zero. And
who wants to live there?
Right. No. Yeah.
Yeah. Real
That's
cheap.
That's why that present tense song is the fucking greatest song ever written, in my opinion. It makes much more sense to live in the present.
Absolutely.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
You just spend all your life just thinking about how
that's why it's called the present.
Yeah.
And I did for a long, it was, I would say honestly, if I'm being really honest, that kept me doing drugs for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Was how much harm I had done to people.
Yeah. To cope.
It was the only thing I had left.
Yeah.
It was the only thing I had to cope. It was the only way I couldn't deal with that fucking nuclear bomb in my head all times. Like, you're never going to fucking have a life. You're never going to be a good person. All you're ever going to be is that.
So I might as well just keep harming myself.
And harming others around me. And that's fucked up. That's a really sad, cowardly thing.
It's not something that is like so out of the ordinary to happen to someone. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
it's understandable.
It's common to get stuck in the hole.
I mean, like sometimes it's just like we make mistakes, not because we're intentionally wanting to make these mistakes. It just happens.
Yeah. Just like, here we are.
Yeah. And we say stupid shit or we do stupid shit. It's like, I wasn't waking up this morning thinking I was going to.
Right. like, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to invest in my own destruction.
It's tough.
That's what I'm going to do.
I had a conversation with somebody yesterday morning. They finally came to me. I'm going to make this super vague. They finally came to me and they were like, you did this thing a while back and it pissed me off. It hurt my feelings and it made me feel like you were doing this. And I was like, first of all, I apologize and I'll do anything I can to amend that. That's not how I meant to make you feel. But like, I don't go out of my way to bother anybody.
Right.
I don't go out of my way to be harmful to anybody. I, in fact, work really hard not to cause harm.
Right.
In a moment by moment fucking basis. It's just what it is. So if I do that, I am fully open for a fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like, you can talk to me and you can tell me that you're wrong. I like it. You should have got up here.
I was hoping to make that more iconic sound, but it fell short.
I'll pop a bottle.
Yeah. And you caught me doing it, which is hilarious.
Yeah,
because honestly, the only way to really succeed in life is to be responsible for your own. And if you don't fucking hit a home run this time, get up to bat and swing again.
Jealousy, and it's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
it's painful.
The worst in people.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Well, I'm sure you guys like deal with that too. Being business owners, you've had to deal with people who think that they are as deserving to be a business owner.
Well, and I'm sure there's people who've held it against me for them not getting into the tattoo expo or something. Yeah. I get some salty comments sometimes, and I'm like, look, we have a list that's 23 years old, and like we try to do what we can, but it's like I don't know a finite amount of space.
Yeah, like put yourself in my shoes.
And there's a fireman who's going to kick us out if we put too many people in there.
Right.
So, like,
you can't just brother one person in. Because there's 7 of you asking the same favor.
Right.
Today.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So when I was running this company, right, like I had a bunch of people under me and guys would be like, oh, he just sits in the truck doing whatever. And it's like, first of all, shut up. Right. Second of all, it's like, I would tell them every day, I was like, if you want my fucking job, come get it.
Right.
If you get to the point where you get my job, two things are true. One, you're better at my job. Two, I started missing steps.
Yep.
Right? I've either moved on.
Mm-hmm.
I've moved on one way or the other.
Yeah.
Right? But either I moved on of my own choice or I was.
And also, there's room for both of us to be successful.
At 100%. And I will do everything in my power to make you. I'm that guy. I will fucking give you anything. I like to think that I am really supportive of people that I love.
Yeah.
And I'll give them anything. I'll fucking.
I'll give you the secret sauce.
I will. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
You still got to cook it.
You still got to cook it. That's right.
Cook it.
You still got to set up the storefront. You still got to get a sign.
There's the tricks to when people are like, how did you pull up, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is the secret to my success. It's not that hard. I try and make people feel good. That's the answer. And I tell people that all the time. I'm like, if people feel good, I think they'll forgive you when you have a bad show or a bad this, a bad that.
Yeah.
And then people maybe I work with get annoyed with me when I say that. But that is my mission statement. Every morning when somebody tunes on our radio show, I want them to feel good listening. So it doesn't matter if they're laughing, if they're feeling a little emotional because of a story that I shared. That's why the levity is so important to me. But I'm not funny. I'm not trying to be funny. I have funny moments, sure, but I'm not going on to be like shock jock guy or I'm not going on.
You're not the T-man.
I don't have, and people are successful at that. That's what they do. That's their lane. My lane has always been, and I'm not now starting to reap the success of it, is I feel like I'm comfort for someone.
You know what's funny, man?
I make people feel good.
That's good.
That feeling good, that just works in every facet of life.
It does.
I started going to Trader Joe's recently.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been there in forever. And I walked, it's a little bit up a hill, so I walk up the hill, I get some stuff, and I'm like, I'm walking away going, man, I had a little conversation. I feel really good right now, like a little more empowered even,
Yeah.
But my bill was like this. I went home and did a deep dive on them. I'm like, how are they doing it?
Yeah.
And sure enough, it's not by accident. They hire people to specifically, their intent is to make people feel good. Yeah. They save money in a few ways. They pass the savings on to you. The CEO makes less than a CEO of his status normally would. They pass the savings on, all this stuff. But it comes down to, man, if you can find a way in your career path or in your hobbies or in your life to make people feel good, you're going to have a more rewarding experience,
Absolutely.
And if everyone's feeling good, it's
man. It's
a good
just snowballs.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. And I think the other part of that, it's making people feel good and being supportive. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Like when you see someone trying to do something that that they're unsure of.
Yeah.
Right.
Cheer for them.
You're like, bro, it hurts me zero to give somebody else flowers.
Oh, dude, sometimes I'll just randomly message, going back to the wrestling shit. I'll see one of my buddies, who's relatively new, do something cool in a match, and I'll just message him in a DM, the way you sold that, blah, 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 was just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be more present in that world, if you feel good about somebody in your life, just let them know.
Tell them. Yeah.
Because this shit's flimsy. It goes away.
And we go back to going back to just how your anxiety hits you with body dysmorphia or this or that. We all think we're doing a shitty job. Maybe more of us should just make it a point to, if we see someone doing something cool, even if it's not maybe 100% there yet, but I see what you're trying to do there, and I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
I like to think that it's a dumb, morbid thing to think, but I like to think one day, if I'm not here on this planet, there'll be several people that could just pull up their phones and be like, they have these DMs from me that made them feel something.
100%.
Because
100%.
And in a way, we talked about legacy earlier, I will live as dumb as it is because it's social media.
It's not dumb at all.
But they're a screenshot maybe or whatever, that will maybe at least mean something to them. And if it doesn't mean anything, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
God forbid it does. I'd love to know that maybe if I'm not here anymore, that there's somebody out there that knows I made an impact because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I do occasionally, because I hate leaving voicemails.
Yeah.
But occasionally, if I call someone and I get their voicemail, I'll leave a voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm leaving a voicemail, it'll be like, "Hey, just so you know, I love you."
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So if I'm ever gone, that's on their fucking voicemail.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. 100%. My phone has a lot of voicemails.
So, Steve, any final thoughts? Anything to pitch? Anything you want?
Dude, this just felt good for the soul. I really enjoyed talking to you guys. I have nothing to pitch. I get it. They can listen when you can find me. You can find me wherever you want to find me. I just hope that if somebody listened to this and had a good time listening, that to me I had a great time.
I had a great time,
guys.
It was
Super fun.
It's always fun when you have those moments where you have a good conversation with someone, and it's just like I feel it's like good for the soul.
And it's organic.
Absolutely.
It doesn't get worse. There's no,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that we just kind of went in and I had some ideas of what we were going to talk about, but I feel like we ended up talking about things I had no idea I was going to even talk about.
Well,
I like it to feel like that kind of spontaneous day trip, you know, where you don't know what you're going to do, but you're going to do it together and it's going to be fun.
I always like to joke with our show, even like, it's like, I want people to think that they're in a car with us.
Yeah.
And sure, they can't chime in, but you know, like that, like some people are like, they'll have like that mindset, like we want to show, it's like, feels like you're sitting at a restaurant or sitting at a bar. To me, it's like, I want people to feel like they're in a car with us driving on a road trip.
Talking
about random shit, putting on random songs.
That shit's dope. But I can tell you that like in the back of my head, as forced as this metaphor might seem, this is us sitting at table 18 at the Hurricane.
I feel that. Yeah.
These are the type of conversations that we would have that were about everything and fucking.
Well, literally, we had a full podcast before we even hit record.
That's right.
Like,
that's
really
right.
Different than what we just did right now.
Nothing
changed other than things were turned on.
That's right.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Don't forget that stripper conversation you guys are gonna have.
Right. Yeah.
But that's a module. As dumb as it sounds.
Yeah.
I think that's the winning recipe of why strip clubs exist and do well. It's hot girls, dances, but feel good and
feel good.
Minus the like the physical feel good, but like you have someone. I used to love going because it was just like I could just bullshit and have a dumb conversation with a really attractive girl.
That's paying attention to everything you say.
Yeah, and maybe they give two fucks about what I'm saying, but for that 2 dances, 2 songs, they really care.
Right. As a lifelong dork, strippers probably helped me learn how to talk to girls.
It's one of the more fascinating. I forever have love for strippers.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
And so I guess that would be that would be in summation. Support your local sex worker.
Please do. Absolutely.
Those girls are out there making money trying to go to college.
There's something there that's more than just sexual.
Yeah.
100%. I
100%.
believe that.
Yeah. Some of my favorite people in this world are ex-sex workers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've met so many great people, great stories, like some of the funniest. I mean, some stories are just out of the ordinary, but like, to me, that's what life is, building stories, right?
And we've lived out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it, Phyllis.
And I have a kinship to them. I mean, I wear crazy boots and spandex and tight pants.
Right, there's that.
Yeah. Shake my ass for $1.
Yeah, there's a fucking Venn diagram.
I'm teetering on the outside.
Yeah. No, you're in the middle. You got fucking David Bowie in the 70s here, a stripper here, and what is his name? The Ultimate Man. Lips. What's his name? What's Terry Hogan's name?
Thunderlips.
Yeah, Thunderlips, the
Rocky
Ultimate Man.
Thunderlips.
Rocky.
Always comes back to Rocky.
There we go.
And on that note, I think we're done.
Dude, this was a blast. Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me. Hope I didn't ramble too much for you.